of Escape from Gargoyle Mountain, I guess. My adventure was named Captive Audience. So, to recap, our heroes, Ignatius the Burster, played by Mitch, and Beethoven the Dog Boy, played by Deyton, were captured and put into work in a gargoyle mine. As they concocted their scheme to get out, things didn't go so well for Ignatius, and he has chosen to invoke the rule in Savage Rift's Blaze of Glory. So tonight, he dies in a blaze of glory. So let's get to it. You're at the tail end of your plan.
I blow up. No, I'm just kidding. Yep.
Oh, that was cool. Let's try to get out of here. You're in the mines, deep in the mines, with about 100 plus townsfolk that have accumulated from all the little mining areas. You are burning hot. You're starting to cook off your gear and all that stuff. He's on fire, blazing. Then we've got Shani, who was given a bomb to turn invisible and go plant on a pressurized water reservoir cap to flood the mountain, flood the mines inside. And you're going to lead everyone out with Faith, one of the townsfolk who knows the mine really well. So you are having a hard time being around other people, so you have to kind of head up front.
I go first or I go last?
I would assume you go first in your state of mind.
Makes sense.
As you want something to burn. And you're seeing your friend, and you're just getting that waves and waves of magic and anger and just all the pent up things of a burster just hitting you with your little magic tingly sense.
It smells less like marshmallows and more like gasoline. the bad side of burning.
Obviously, if we weren't trying to be discreet, I'd yell, "What the is going on? Like, stop burning so hot."
I mean, he would kind of know, wouldn't he? Would he be able to feel
you
something?
Feel that something's way wrong. Like, you feel something is way wrong with him. And one thing, I guess I should say this before. I just throw it on everyone. Dub, the big muscle,
the blue dude, right?
Blue dude. He picked up the net launcher, and the Altera warrior woman loaded one and grabbed an extra bundle, one of those explosive nets, and he's carrying it like pretty much a rocket launcher on his shoulder.
It's going to be fun to see what that does to something. That's not a wall, like where it wraps around and pops. That's going to be fun.
So, if you want to speak to him, you can try. Otherwise, we continue on.
I can do that without yelling at him?
You'll have to walk up close to him and kind of call out, because like his flames are just... It's loud. It's loud in the tunnels. His feet... Like you guys are having to watch where you step, because anywhere he steps, there's a molten footprint in the stone and it's burning, like on fire.
So clearly I can get close enough to him without burning myself.
Maybe like in the kitchen.
And you're about from like there to there, and it's hot. Like it's
really on fire. Like ridiculously on fire.
Well, that's good. I guess I get that close. It's worth it. Iggy, what's going on, man?
I think this is it. I'm going to have some grumble to my throat, I guess, and gravel. I'd be like, I don't think I can turn this off.
What does that mean for us?
It means give me some distance. I don't want to hurt anybody else.
Okay.
It's nothing personal.
I will then relay this information to Faith and Dub. And
you're not even going to say goodbye?
It's not there yet.
Skinny. I know, I'm just kidding. I'm just kidding.
You relay that, and they're like, "Yeah, we're good with staying back."
Right now, I'm focused on like
We still have to escape, yeah.
We gotta get out of here, and us walking into you getting all fiery is not gonna be good.
So you start to get a bad feeling. There is no gargoyle lights running around. You haven't seen one since you got back to the group. Pretty much the last ones you saw were the 3 you killed.
The ones, yeah.
The mines are empty and quiet, and as you're making your way and you're getting down those last tunnels that are going to end going out into the forge room, something crackles through your headset, and it's Shani. Like, Beethoven, are you there?
Don't answer.
Yeah, what's going on, Shani?
They're waiting for you. Everything's pointed at that tunnel. Don't get out.
Is it fair enough to say that I understood that? 'Cause
If you understood it, you understood it.
This is like getting a piece of paper in plastic. Where
Yep.
What the fuck does this say?
So at this point, I think I would even yell loud enough so he could hear. Like, everyone stop, don't go out.
Yeah. So he yells,
The tunnel.
"Don't go out." You're in this last corridor. Like, you are looking down the last bend. You can't see outside, but you know that last opening is up there.
Is there any other way out from this direction?
There is not. They specifically made only one way in, and then made it all confusing inside to where they were mining. But you do know that, because you passed by them, their storage areas are just to the right of you. And the tunnel to go to the reservoir is further down that way.
To the reservoir will lead outside, though, right?
Right.
Yeah.
That's where they're... So they have to go out there on that ledge above the forge to get over to that reservoir tunnel.
Is the reservoir where Shani is at?
The reservoir tunnel... Sorry. The reservoir tunnel is the ones that come from the quarry. Not the reservoir tunnel that's pumping the pressure.
That's a viable escape route for them.
That is the plan. The plan was to get out and sneak down that thing while no one was watching and get them all out. But he has now yelled out that... What did you yell?
Like, stop. We're not going out this way. I'm 99% sure that Shani just warned us that they are waiting for us outside of this tunnel.
So I guess he would hear me shout then, "Hey, Beethoven!" That's you, right?
Hey, he said my name! The tail wags.
I was like, I'm pretty sure that was a weird response. I'm like, I'm pretty sure I've been calling you Beethoven.
Yeah, that's
So
your name,
like, oh, so shit, it's Mozart.
Fuck. Man, I was insulting as fuck to you.
These are expired? What's going on? Maybe they shouldn't be taking more of that medicine.
Just lay off the allergy pills.
They only expired 3 years ago.
He called your name out. He responded.
Yeah, hey,
Oh,
what's
yeah.
up?
I think I'm still going to go this way.
I don't think that's a good idea.
I don't think it's a good idea if I come with you guys. Be a good boy.
What does this mean right now?
And then I probably would not respond beyond that.
Go ahead and make a smarts roll.
Okay.
You had heard Faith talking about get out. There's right next to us is the storerooms. Like, if we could sneak through there, that would be great.
Mm-hmm.
But even the storerooms go out to that area, but being able to get through them is more safe.
Mm-hmm.
So you know that just to the right of you, pretty much through some rock, is another room where they would be safer coming out of.
So they could use that net to blow it apart.
Yeah, so basically you could use the net to blow it apart, or you could just melt a hole for them.
Let's do that.
And if they go out that way, when you go out front, they're not coming out right behind you in the line of fire.
So I need to roll a d10.
Oh, no, you're well beyond that.
Oh, okay. I was like, because everything burns with d10. So I tell them, hey, you guys head that way when it cools off a little bit.
Yeah.
I'm going to go take care of this distraction.
He puts his hand out, and his normal cone or burst hits the wall, and then there's just a tunnel melted in there into the storeroom, and he continues on. So you come around the corner, and you see, like, the bend. Yeah. So you're coming around the bend, and you see there's 2 gargoyles in power armors floating. There's gargoyles set up off on the ledge. They're kind of hanging off the ledge with entrenched weapons. And the moment you come around, because of course you're bright, everything comes at you. Like plasma, lasers, slugs, railgun rounds. It's everything, and nothing touches you. Like, nothing can get through that you even notice or realize.
Especially
things
the
are
lasers.
Those don't hurt at all anyway. But everything's melting and blasting off you, or you're just not caring at this point. And that's when you rush forward out of this, and almost before you even get to the edge of the tunnel, the gargoyles are set up right there. Their guns are overheating and melting. They're falling back into the forge fire. And you come out and leap off and grab hold, just kind of put your hands into the chest of one of the power armor gargoyles that's floating there, and just melt into him. And he goes tumbling back, trying to fly away, trying to grab you to get you off, and his hand is just melting off. So he collapses to the forge floor. Everyone starts shooting you and him. Earth comes up around you. The ground itself is trying to grab you and contain you. And it's melting and burning off. You guys, you see him turn the corner and you hear the apocalypse up ahead. So much blast for fire, so much gunfire. Reminds you of your, coalition days of just the overkill method of killing big monsters, essentially. And take one last look as the flame flickers away and you don't see it in the tunnel anymore, and you head off to the right. You run through the storeroom all the way to the end of it and get out and go up to that exit. And you're going up to clear, and you hear everything going outside, and that's when you hear big explosion. And then just water. So the bomb has gone off on the pressure cap, and you look out, and nothing is looking at you. Everything is looking at the molten sun that is sitting in the middle of everything, trying to kill it. And it's your time to go.
I whisper, "Thank you, Iggy."
I didn't mean to laugh. You're just I whisper and then you stop. I whisper.
Pause for emotional effect.
What's up, Galen? So, you start getting everyone out. You go up there and crouch and cover as they're running by you, get into their place, watching this, and you see just the water's coming out from the reservoir cap tunnel. Just crashing down into the forges, steaming up, starting to pool up and go. One last kind of it's spreading thin because it's trying to fill the entire area, of course. But then one big kind of push comes out of it, and a wave comes up. And that's when the last of the people get out, and you stand up and back up and come around the corner to the tunnel to exit. And that's when you see the first wave hit him. And you see there's everyone set up around him again trying to shoot him. You stand up and you reach out and just incinerate a gargoyle flying above you. You look over and you see this robed one over by the caves that are the homes of the gargoyles above the forge. And he's trying to do this, and that's what's moving the earth around you. You know you have to kill him, but there's a power armor one over here, and you go to raise your arm, and you don't have an arm anymore, and you realize that you don't even need it. Like, you are just all the fire around you, and a cone of fire emanates from your person and just melts that thing. And you start walking towards that magic user who's trying to contain you desperately.
Am I like waist deep in water?
No, not yet.
Not yet.
That's when the first wave hits you, and it doesn't even get near you. It just instantly vaporizes into steam and scalds everything around. Just an explosion of steam heads out. That magic user you see, the robed gargoyle, ducks back into the caverns behind him. You go to try to follow. You are now, like, you saw that first hit of steam hit him, and it just fills the entire chamber and starts building up pressure. You could feel the pressure in your ears change. This isn't going to be good once more water hits him. So you're now running, everyone's running down the tunnel. Then just the big wave hits. And that's when steam, scalding bath, everything, you hear a rumble. As you're exiting the quarry, you're getting out and running down the quarry side. There's just a burst of dust and steam and smoke that comes out of that tunnel and several other of the reservoir tunnels that they had carved through to the mine. And you hear an explosion. Like a volcano goes off. And you look up at the side of the mountain, because you're on the back side and the mine's on the front side. And just a plume of smoke and steam and ashes comes out of that thing. The side of that mountain just blew out. You see gargoyles flying around, like escaping. Some of them are on fire and they're just falling out of the sky. But you are out now with the group, and A says, we got to get to the stone yard. It's the only place that's defensible within miles.
Can I contact Shani at this point?
Shani met up with you.
Okay.
She's with you.
That's what I was concerned about.
She appears outside next to you.
Okay.
She looks at you and kind of like, looks for Iggy and then like looks up the explosion and doesn't say anything. Just kind of goes to helping the people. She knows you're going to have to deal with this. She's being careful about it. So, head down to the stone yard?
I guess to the stone yard we go. That's where she says is the most defensible.
Hey, Macog.
Oh, it was...
Hey, Macog.
Yeah, she was Cam.
Cam Meary. Was the techno-wizard. So you rush down into the town of Sheerton. You pick up the people that they had left behind, the kids and the elderly. They gather whatever equipment and weaponry was left by the gargoyles that they can scavenge. They're there for like 10, 15 minutes, and you start to see gargoyles gathering in the air. They're looking around. They're flying. A couple fly over the quarry, and they seem to spot you. I mean, you're a big group of people. It's hard not to. They fly back to the main area of gargoyles, and then everyone's heading out. And the stone yard it's where they kept the stone when it was waiting for shipment. So it's got walls, it's got separations, there's train tracks going to it, it's got big rolling doors. It's pretty much a little fortress, but it's just walls. There's like no real internal structures, no big structures, no buildings there. So everyone, gathers in there. They take the family and families and the people that aren't going to fight and have no weapons. And they hide them behind some of the stacks of rocks that are left and gather them up and just get them safe. and Cam makes the biggest force field generator she can to protect them as the rest of you get up on the walls, and you see that a gargoyle in power armor is leading a group of gargoyles, regular gargoyles flying down to you. And half his face and part of his shoulder are melted. And he's heading down, bringing them to you. Everyone, A-Dub, and Oriania, Zvanko, they're all getting ready with their little Wilkes weapons and laser rifles and the couple slug throwers that they have for this last stand. Cam Miri activates the force field over the people.
Techno wizards are cool as fuck.
Yeah, and that's it. She's sitting there with, she made it. It's huge. It's like all of her devices for the day in one thing, and she has extra parts, so she's just going to keep this thing going as long as she can, no matter how much damage it takes. The first wave starts coming down, blasting in. I mean, some of them are just using energy rifles and stuff like that, but the big guys are using a railgun, so he just takes down a section of wall in one sweep. I'm assuming you're going to be the one trying to engage him and keep him off this stuff. So you launch, your high explosives or your plasmas at him. Try to get his attention, try to get him towards you, and do whatever damage you can. They hit him, and he instantly zones in on you as the one to kill. As he flies down, he just lands in front of you. You're on the wall, your gun pointed at him, almost face to face, because you're tall and the wall is high. And he's looking at you, and he just levels that gun, and then a missile hits him in the side of the head.
Good shot.
Shatters his helmet.
I don't think that was me.
You see, part of his face was already been melted. It gets scathed even more, and he hits the ground. Another missile flies by him and misses, but hits where there's other gargoyles. And you look up to see Honeycomb just flying down. Behind him, there are about a dozen flying things. You see two sky, what are they called? Sky cycles. The Coalition sky cycles. But they're painted all crazy patterns and vibrant colors, and the skulls in the front are painted like sugar skulls. And the people in the armor, they're the Coalition armor, but heavily modified, also painted up all different colors with sugar skull motifs on their faces. And they're flying down in tandem, starting to fire at the gargoyles. You see the burster he was talking to flying around like he was the Human Torch. There's a...
I didn't take flight as part of my...
Right.
I had flight as one of my skills.
One of the skills.
I was I don't need it. And then later I'm I could have just 80 times. I could have been flying all over the place.
You see a ley line walker floating up there calling down lightning. There's several other power armors up there, Titans and remade Samuses. There's a large transport kind of in the back that folks are guarding. It's just kind of hovering there and floating, and it's trying to get over to where you guys are at. But it doesn't take long for them to rout. I mean, it was a small force that came after you, and with all the stuff that's going on over at the mine, you assume the gargoyles aren't prepared to repel something like this. So Honeycomb and the flying detachment that was sent from Castle Refuge push off the gargoyles that have followed you. And the transport floats in and sets down in the stone yard. A woman gets out. You vaguely remember her as being one of the attendants or someone that ran up or was talking to Elle of Owls. And a couple other folks get out, Castle Refuge armor. They start heading up to the refugees. And she walks towards your group. Oh, yeah. Dub did shoot one of the gargoyles with that thing wrapped around him. Blew him into little bits. She comes up to you, says, calls you out by name. Beethoven. Is everyone all right?
I want to say everyone, but the ones you see here are okay.
She looks around. Ignatius.
He's back there where all that smoke is.
Honeycomb, I need eyes on the front of that mine. Honeycomb flies around, starts going real up and wide, try to avoid all the little gargoyle people that are looking. If he's in there, if he's alive, we'll get him. If not, we'll retrieve what's left.
Good.
Let's get you back to Castle Refuge. What?
I mean, it's so hard to roleplay silence where I'm like... I'm dead.
I grabbed the cards so they all got nervous.
You did it, threw everything off. I'm not even here in this scene. You got the cards. I'm like, wait, sorry. Where am I? Who cares?
You return to Castle Refuge, and it's kind of not the same. You know, this was kind of Iggy's dream to be here, and now he's gone, and you're here alone. Oh, Shani. Shani approaches.
Forget about the NPC.
Yeah. Shani approaches you and says her piece. She's like, I didn't expect him to be the one sacrificing for all of us. But I can't say that I'm surprised. He was a good man. Underneath it all.
Yeah. I'm at a loss for words.
Tear down in your fur.
He's barely drooled on himself. He's so sad.
Days go by where everyone just kind of gives you some room and some space, but a lot of stuff is happening in that time. With the destruction of the mine and the outing of how organized the enemies are and have been, the Broadkill have started to assault in earnest. They have taken towns, they've fortified. Now, the area around Castle Refuge is a war zone, and everyone's doing something, mobilizing, getting ready for defense, sending folks out.
What we went to set out to check on was pretty much the case. Like the last time this happened, Broadkill went out of control, gargoyles ended up taking them. So the last time the Broadkill went out of control, it did herald the coming of the gargoyles.
Yeah, it was a gargoyle and Broadkill primarily army.
Gotcha.
That hit them last time.
And now we're looking at the same kind of.
And now the same things seem to be happening, and they tried to get even more organized to take it on now, which is it's scary because it could have been a random army of these things marauding across the countryside before, but this shows dedication. This shows planning. Someone is targeting Castle Refuge, specifically someone that has ties to demons and extra-dimensional beings. The obvious choice would be the True Federation of Magic, but they had hoped they were not known to them yet. Castle Refuge is still kind of new and under the radar. Galen's like, I wish my chat synced with your video because it's 30 seconds behind, so he's always like commenting on things a little while ago.
You should just start predicting and we'll see which ones are right.
So after a while, you're just starting to feel like kind of antsy. I would assume, since you are a soldier and to keep your mind off things, it would be nice to go soldiering. Mm-hmm. You didn't come here just to mope. So, either, like, if you're going to go after Elevals to talk about what's next, or you're going to wait for someone to come to you.
I'd probably go to Elevals to ask what the plan is, because if anything, I'm probably a little more angry than sad now. Like,
Now it's revenge time.
I want to kill me some gargoyles and gargolites and broadkill and whatever the hell stands in my way.
All right. So you enter the command post.
Can you stop shuffling the cards?
It's making me really nervous.
I don't know
what's going on.
You keep doing it too. You keep playing like, oh.
I want to make sure they're nice and shuffled.
I know, right? They're shuffled.
And I always I kind of cheat, but I always look at the bottom because I don't want,
You don't want to waste the Joker.
I don't want the Joker to be down at the bottom. I'm like, that's shitty, like if the Joker's at the bottom. So I do a GM cheat, I guess. And make sure that that's not a card. A Joker.
I'm like, stop shuffling the cards. Shuffles furiously.
Shuffles
Shuffling intensifies.
So, you enter the command center, and it's pandemonium. I mean, people running in and out. You see Bob the Borg. He's given lots of commands. He's got his tactical map up. Everyone's in there. Elle's kind of off to the side. It looks like she's chiming in every once in a while, but she has just this kind of flock of attendants around her that run up, say something, whisper something to her, and then she will wait, won't reply, and then she'll whisper something back, and then they run off. You watch, you've been in these command posts before. You've seen the command structure and the chaos of it all, and you're looking at the map, and it doesn't look good. I mean, there's a lot of things going on out there. They are trying to spread everyone thin, knowing that Castle Refuge wants to try to save everybody. So they're giving Castle Refuge hard choices of who they can save and how thin they're going to spread their forces. Elevals looks up at you just a couple minutes after you come in, and it's kind of motions you to come over.
Just like this. That's not even an owl sound.
You. Who?
What sound does an owl make?
No. What sounds an eagle make?
Yeah, right.
No, I can do it. No? There it is.
Deyton's an Eagles fan. Nobody's perfect.
I'm an Eagles fan as well.
The band or the
band?
The band.
I love Hotel California.
Hotel California.
No.
Wait, I thought the Eagles broke up. How did they win the Super Bowl? They play halftime?
They just never left. Because they can't.
You come up and she says a couple things to her attendants. And then off to the side to you. Are you ready to get back into it?
I'm more than ready.
Good. I was hoping you would stay. I had my concerns. Let's talk. And she leaves the room, takes you with her. She doesn't command you to follow or, go expectantly. She walks up next to you and walks with you out. Her attendants, her little flutterers, hangers-on, all kind of tail you. Shani was waiting outside, so she joins up with you when you guys pick up. So, we're in bad shape. the broad killer hitting us from all sides, hitting all of our supply lines, all the towns that we've worked so hard to create relations with, that we told we would protect. We gave them, they gave us their fealty, and we gave them our word, and now we're having a hard time keeping that. And I don't like that. Our 3 battalions are stretched thin. We're trying to keep lines, but they keep moving them. And it doesn't hurt that, it doesn't help that they can turn invisible at will. We have our mages and psychers pushed to the limits. So, to be honest, the only major strike we've had against them was the mines, and that was you. We're hoping you can do a repeat. When you first arrived, Coda said that you found some Sumerians, and that they were following somebody. Out of character, do you remember that?
I don't remember who exactly they were following.
That's why we found them in the wilderness originally. Mm-hmm. We were searching and we ran into them. They seemed nonplussed to help us because they actually had their own thing going on and they were looking for somebody.
Well, I thought it seemed like they were looking for who attacked their stuff.
They were looking for someone that was in their territory, causing problems that came to this. But do you remember what it was? Didn't write it down? Didn't take notes? Aww.
I guess this whole time I thought it was the Broadkill. That's why they helped us kill the Broadkill.
So when you first got there, recap, the communities had been getting raided here and there.
Like, do you remember who it was?
A little bit. I don't remember specifically who it was, but I know that they had their own problems that weren't the ones that we were involved with.
The Broadkill were hitting things, but they didn't know it was the Broadkill. They were invisible. They weren't leaving witnesses. So when Honeycomb saw the Sumerians at the lake, like, they could have been the raiders. So you guys went out with the expectation that you were finding these raiders that had been hitting your communities. But they turned around when you contacted them. You didn't just start shooting. They told you that they were following someone that came to this area, and it was a shifter with a witchling ally. And shifters are summoners of demons and creatures through the rifts and all that kind of stuff.
They can create nexus points and open rifts as well, can't they?
They can't create. They're not the that line walker or that line creator. That's the Aztecs. The Aztecs are the ones that could make
Nazcan line walkers.
Yeah, right. Line makers. No, but they love nexus points, and they shift. They open up things. They bring stuff through. They bind it to their will. Like, the Federation of Magic is pretty much full of that, of shifters, evil shifters. So, Coda, having given the report that the Sumerians had said that, you remembering that was mentioned, but of course the Sumerians disappeared shortly thereafter. She says, "We have spotted the Sumerians. Of course, we're not going to dedicate any resources to them. They're not our enemies, as far as we know. But if they're still on the hunt, if they're still after the shifter, and this shifter is involved with what's going on here, if the shifter is behind what's going on here, if we can get to him, we might be able to cut the head off of this army. We would like you to take a small task force, find the Sumerians, do whatever you need to do to find what they know about this shifter, and, well, hopefully eliminate it."
You can do it. Cut his fucking head off.
So where are the Sumerians right now?
They are in the foothills of the Ozarks, the end of the line, essentially. There is a lot of nexus, or a lot of ley line activity in that particular area. The mountains are the foothills are somewhat treacherous, as they are known to erupt in storms or the landscape can even completely change at whim. I know that your senses do not like that, but shifters being what they are, it seems like the perfect place for them.
Alright, well, what task force am I taking with me?
And you've been walking with her through the corridors and stuff like that, and she has now walked out into the courtyard, the parade grounds, where everyone's just getting gear ready and all this stuff, and repairing power armors and jets and whatever else they have, arming the cannons. And that's when you've come up to a section, a corner, and they're just pulling a drape off. A crane is like pulling up a drape from pieces of equipment, and a glitter boy is standing there in all of its glory. And there's a man overseeing its overseeing the movement, like the repairs of it. And that man introduces himself as...
Hey, James, Plato McKellar. Nice to meet you. Even better to know you.
Beethoven.
Nice to meet you. Sorry to hear about your friend. Unfortunate thing. It's why we need to do what it is that we do so we don't lose any more loved ones.
Plato, I thank you for taking on this assignment. I know you were new here as well.
Well, I think I came here for the same reason these fellas came here. To do some good, do some right, make things better.
Going after a shifter is no small feat. We wish we could give more magical support, but Shani does have her abilities and her knowledge of magic to protect you. We want to make sure this thing doesn't survive. And, well, this is the best way to do it, I think. Motioning at the glitter boy. In all of its glory.
I think it suited up.
Glitter boys, for anyone that doesn't know, are 10-foot tall, shining armor. They're laser resistant. Show it to yours. Yours is more HD. With the biggest gun carried by man possible. It's called a boom gun. It sets out sonic booms around it, deafening anyone that's near. It annihilates anything it hits. It is so powerful that 6-foot pylon, laser-tipped pylons have to dig into the ground and hook in, and it has thrusters on the back to compensate for the recoil of this gun. It is probably the only reason humanity survived the coming of the rifts. Once the apocalypse happened and the rifts opened up, everything just came through. Gargoyles, broadkill, demons, aliens, and what humans survived the apocalypse that created the rifts were just quickly being either enslaved, annihilated, sacrificed by everything. And the glitter boys were an old world creation made to withstand lasers and to fight tanks in a conventional war. And they were one of the only things that could sit there and take down a dragon or take down a demon. And they stood up. The pilots almost unanimously from all over the world, no matter what country they served or where they were stationed, stood up and protected what was left of humanity until more defenders came, like the Cyber Knights and the Leyline Walkers, and whoever else was coming to help, who eventually became also heroes. So 2 humans, glitter boys are humanity's savior. Galen asks, sex? Like, I don't, what, 30 seconds ago? Come on.
Is it the sex of the armor? The armor is called a glitter boy, or is that, maybe that's what he's talking about?
I don't know. They're read up, then down. This seems to be a trustworthy guy, referencing Mitch. I don't know why you're saying Slaanesh. Slaanesh is a Warhammer 40k fantasy god of pleasure and pain. Whatever, man. You're distracting us. So, you are face to face with your new someone that Ella Bowles is not forcing you to join up with this. She's just saying, he's new here. We'd like you to work together to take down this threat. We'd love to put you in the battalions. We'd love to have you on the front lines. But they've been training for months, if not years, and putting someone new right now as real war is happening. I'm sure you understand. It'd be dangerous to add green troops, especially with how our battalions work with the mixed compositions of magic users, power armors, technology, and magic. And we think that this mission is so much more important that we take it seriously. If this is an option, if we can assassinate the leader of this, or at least find one of the lieutenants, we can start to figure out who our real enemy is.
You can leave it to me in beats, man.
Beats. That's awesome.
You can tell him not to call you that if you want.
I was just about to say.
He's a friendly nickname kind of guy, I think.
You just call me Beats.
Is that all right? Short for Beethoven. I wouldn't call you Oven. I'll call you Beethoven. Don't worry about it.
Beats. Shani says.
It's like, yeah, we might be two new acquaintances to be given nicknames to each other so far. James.
You got it. You can call me Plato, though. Everyone else does.
So this is your thing right here?
It's great, isn't it? Beautiful, shiny, powerful as hell.
I have seen one of these in actions before. It's no joke.
Absolutely.
Shani's like, on which side, though? Who's exactly with you?
Don't be scared, little lady. I'm expert in this thing. I can crack your knuckles while I'm in it. I just don't suggest it. Promise I can do this.
Right. Well, if we're done showing off, maybe we should get going.
Man, but I'm never done showing up.
Well, you can't miss that.
Are we still talking to Elle?
This is Shani.
Okay.
Elle's standing there, with any questions you have.
So then I was talking to the wrong person.
You were talking to Shani.
Yeah, I was talking to Shani. I think it speaks for itself is what I would have said instead, but yeah, it's fine.
So, as much as this is definitely awesome firepower, and if we're trying to kill this shifter, sounds fantastic, how exactly are we supposed to communicate with the Sumerians? And
it's like, I understand that your last meeting ended poorly. And
they didn't like me last time I saw them.
But you have an advantage over us, because even a negative parting is better than no meeting at all. We don't know them, they don't know us. They didn't kill you, and that says a lot. So we're hoping that you can make contact with them, do whatever needs to be done to get information from them. We're not saying you have to work with them. And then figure it out from there. Communication is spotty at best because of the ley line interference. When you can, please check in.
We said you already met him once, right?
Mm-hmm.
Maybe we can meet him back where you found him the first time.
No, they know where they are.
Oh,
they know where he's being spotted. They don't know exactly where they are, but they've seen them in this area.
Gotcha.
They've seen them in the foothills. It's called the Dancing Foothills because the foothills are known to move. There's so much ley line activity in it. So, yeah, fun for you, right?
You look nervous.
I've never been the talker of the group, and I don't know that you being in your thing here is going to be a great way to say, hello, we don't mean any harm.
Well, I mean, it's not connected to my dick. I can get out of it and talk if I want.
Fair enough.
It is. You haven't even seen it. You mean the glitter
You missed it, Robert. He already died. He's already on his new character. Beethoven and Plato. Galen's very impressed by the names.
Oh, wow.
Yeah. So, Deyton, you're the best person to talk to. Mitch is less fun.
On that note,
yeah. But we finally have someone with charisma. He's +4 charisma. +4.
Does he? Everybody finds these glitter boys enticing and kind of interesting, and they've saved humankind once before.
Yeah, they are the champions of humanity, so that's automatic +2.
What are the odds? Like, didn't I talk to you, like, if at any point someone's going to play a glitter boy, like, this would be, like, the best time.
And that's, like, I never thought anyone would play a glitter boy in my game. And I only throw out, like, these guys say I talk about them a lot and I'm all on them. It's just that they're so iconic to the universe that it's easy to just say glitter boy and be synonymous with riffs. I never thought anyone would play it. It's one trick pony. There's a lot going on to it. But after Ignatius died, like, he's trying to think of a new character, and I thought he was going to go right back to Techno Wizard. His first character was a Techno Wizard the first time we ever played, and he loved it, but he didn't really get the concept. And then as we played other games and saw other things, and he sees the Techno Wizards that I ran as NPCs, he started to get it, like what they can do and how versatile they are. So I was surprised he didn't go with that, but he's like, nope, I want to stay the damage dealer, like the big hitter. So he was looking at combat mages and leyline walkers and all the different things. And yeah, there's just nothing that can compare. Plus, it's finally something that's like respected, charismatic.
Hey. For the first time, like, ever. Well, not ever, but it's rare for us to have a charismatic character.
Finally.
So can he, like, pop in and out of, like, his glitter boy fucking
Yeah.
shit?
I'm a regular character. I still have my own stats or anything like that, but I have.
He's a human.
I have like additional. Like if you're thinking about buying a power armor at some point, I have additional stats in my armor. But if I get out, like it doesn't affect my person. Only my fighting abilities and my defensive abilities.
Yeah, and
so I can talk in the glitter boy to people if I want to, but if I get out, it's the same idea. Like I'm still saying the right thing, I'm still being a nice guy. I'm still.
It takes about 2 turns to open up and climb out of a glitter boy or get into a glitter boy and activate it.
Doesn't have to be like re-secured once I get out or when I activate it. I have to have to get
hooked up, get everything turned on. It's not. I mean, it's not something you want to do like during combat. You definitely don't want to get surprised outside of your armor. It sucks.
But if we're scouting,
but it's fast. Like it's not like a 5-hour process to get put in this armor.
Or like if we're scouting and you want me to get out and talk to natives, I can do that easily. It's just if battle breaks out, I'm gone for 3 turns. 1 to get there, 2 to get in and get started.
Also, things to know is that to start shooting that gun, he has to take a turn to plant. And once he's planted, he can only shoot in a 180-degree radius or angle.
The good news is
arc.
What I can do in that 180 degrees is outrageous.
Things get +2 to hit him. It's pretty bad. Like he's just a sitting target, and things that are mobile can definitely like get out and get behind him as they would want to. But man, when he hits something, it ain't getting back up.
We might have to talk about setup and stuff more comprehensively when we get to a battle.
Mm-hmm.
You're gonna have to decide how you want to deploy me, because I can pretty much do one thing: be bright, be big, and be loud. Like that's it.
And Elavel says that she has paired you with him exactly for that reason.
What's the damage?
Look at the
That's
AP.
AP? That's legit.
She's paired you with that for a reason. You're tactical. You're a scout. Demolitions, setting up. Like your tactical assessment of the gargoyle forge was spot on. It helped them go in and hunt down a lot of the things that escaped and disrupt that entire thing. So you being a scout with a glitter boy backup is like giving a invisible person artillery.
Plus this output actually like this grouping fits in with the Castle Refuge idea that Shani's got a bit of she's a DB, but she has a bit of a magical inclination. You are tactical weapons operative, and then for me, I'm a repairman with a giant suit of armor. So
Big
I can fix stuff. You can shoot stuff. She can heal stuff. So we've got a really well-rounded team. At least that's what Elle says.
So I guess the next real question is, me and Shani don't have vehicles anymore, I imagine, because we got brought here on this shuttle.
She points over as another tarp is being pulled off a group of things, and there's 2 armored ATVs there. They're pretty much your typical 4-wheel ATVs. The wheels are not inflated. They're actually just a bunch of, seems like fibers or spokes that are all mixed up, and they just grip everything around them. They've got armoring that kind of comes up in the front. Looks like the actuation of it is all independent. Like these things can even like reach up and move and grab things, like terrain to climb instead of trying to drive with those grips. They're smaller, like they don't have cargo capacity like your old ones. Like you don't have a big ATV anymore with a flatbed. But they're small and they're fairly fast. They'll go the same speed, actually faster than what he can run. And they can get anywhere.
All right. Are these costing me a pretty penny, or
for this mission? We are footing the bill for the outfitting. Also, head down to the armory. We're restocking your grenades and magazines.
Good deal.
So if you want to upgrade armor, we don't have much in your size, but you can have at whatever is down there.
That's what she said.
Can he take a random roll for possible armor increases before we go out?
Well, it's random. I definitely need to get him more armor.
Yeah. Well, you get on down there. I got a couple more pumps on this gun to clean out.
She's like, I've loaded up your nav computers and the ATVs and in your armor.
So I think it would be safe to say while he's down there, I'm going to be up there polishing the inside of my gun tube. My port, sorry.
Keep making sure everything's checking every attachment, checking every feed.
If I can't see my face in it, that's a shame.
There's actually people like spray paint and put stuff over top of it. Like,
oh, yeah.
Why would you do that?
I just have a big red trigger finger. Oh, yeah, totally. No, you know who I am now. This is the crazy shit, though. Glitter Boys, once I get out and get my thing done.
I like it.
That's what their heads look like, sort of.
What's your strength?
Your toughness, is that more than that?
That's what I thought. It's my vigor halved +2.
Yeah.
Vigor have +2 for him naturally.
But you have to remember,
But being in the armor gives him +6.
I thought the same thing. It seems like it would be so much higher. But
Well, it's the thing is that you have your armor is what 25.
Oh, that's right. Sorry. My armor is +18.
Yeah.
So
it's 18 plus.
I soak 18 points of damage before you even get to the 11 toughness.
It's 18 plus 6 is 24 plus your 5.
So
you're 29.
Yeah, that's my armor class.
And when someone hits you with armor piercing, it cannot take away your toughness. It can only take away that 18. So that toughness you get is permanent armor. Like you can't pass through it.
Gotcha.
That's what I was curious.
So I was thinking about that too, and I forgot about the actual armor of the machine. That's just my toughness.
That's what I have to. That's the target number I have to get. Minus any AP to hurt him.
Yeah.
Fucking.
That makes more sense for me too, because when I was putting that 11 in there, I was like, I don't know if I'll make it a boy anymore.
I was like,
boys.
Mine's at 11 right now. Like, I'm just wearing.
My toughness is 11, but I also have
18 points of armor. So you have 29 armor.
Also take half damage from lasers again. Because they're reflective. They're like not ablative armor, but reflective. I'm sure it's actually reflective ablative armor, so I can take melee damage, things like that. But...
Yeah, it's because it's reflective. The chromium or whatever they call it.
You like this one? My stealth.
-8.
Because I'm a 10-foot tall machine carrying the biggest gun you've ever fucking seen.
Are you only 10 foot tall?
It's just over 10 feet, yeah, when I'm in suit. Okay. You have to remember that it's, despite its power capacity or whatever, it's still a suit of armor. It's not a driven vehicle. I'm still encased in it. So it's got big legs and feet, and arms and everything, but really you can tell that the disproportions reduce as they go up. So like this is outrageous because it needs to be heavy or whatever, but really, realistically, you would be standing next to me right about there.
Yeah, so you're actually not terribly...
No, you're actually, like, my pace in my armor is just about what yours is. Like, if you were running, I could keep up with you without gaining any kind of tiredness in myself, but I wouldn't be, like, flying past you or jumping 800 feet or anything like that. It's not like that.
What are you looking up over here?
The armors that they have available for you.
I was say I still don't know. Like, did I get paid for this last mission?
You did.
Like,
I also need to roll initial funding as well. So.
Yes.
And I imagine at some point I will have gained
some experience.
I'm crying. You're a veteran already.
Yeah, but I'm close to being a hero. Is that what H means?
Heroic, yeah. Heroic tier. A big damn hero.
I mean, I won't get there on my next level up, but I should get closer after this damn gargoyle fucking thing.
Do you know what you want to take with your increases?
Well, obviously I'm not going to have enough money to get power armor yet, so I don't need to get that edge, so I could probably just increase some other things.
If you know what you want, go ahead and take 2 increases.
And I guess we can figure it out another time, but I probably should, like, maybe gain a new, at least, hindrance. The fact that I lost.
Yeah, so you lost your loyalty. So
don't take another hindrance unless you just want the bonuses for it, because I really think that's more.
No. He has a hindrance that no longer really applies. Because he was loyal to.
Oh, that's right. So now the new hindrance would be death of a friend.
Yeah, I could still be loyal to Shani, but I could gain a loyalty to new guy eventually. But right I feel now, like I wouldn't. I'd be like,
the hindrance would be more like a loss of a friend rather than like loyalty.
Well, see, that's what I would honestly say. Like, maybe I'd get rid of that one, put loss of friend in there. Like, just change them up a little bit, because some.
That makes sense. I was thinking of knives.
Not knives. Even my hindrance for wanted bounty for my hide, I'm like, I guess that one could still come up, but where we're at now, it's like...
But you're still that's going to drive you, though. You're still not worried about that. You just don't feel the loyalty you felt for Iggy anymore because Iggy's no more.
You head down to the armory, and they have, they re-equip your grenades, so the exact amount that you had when you left last time. All your ammo is replenished.
I don't think you grenaded even once last time. We got caught so quick. I think your ammunition was the only thing you really went through.
You put down explosives.
I went through a half brick of C20.
Yep.
That's right.
Is that replenished?
Yeah.
They'll give you C20 back. Yeah.
It's like, back up to 2?
It was more because you gave the rest to Shani to go blow up.
Oh, yeah, you had 2 full bricks. You used 1.5 bricks of C20. You should have 2 full bricks.
So.
Forgot about that, yeah.
Yes, they will re-equip you with that.
Okay.
The only armors they have in your size is Peacekeeper and Triax Enhanced. Peacekeeper is modular. It has a whole bunch of extra features. It tells you your own health condition. It can try to radio for help the moment you start taking damage. It's normally used for police forces. It was one of the things that was the Cutters Guild back in Wreckville. They had a lot of it. Set up as tactical, it gives +6 armor and +2 toughness. So, what are you wearing right now?
JCPenney Fall Collection.
Fuck, I don't know.
It's not under gear there. Or down in armor. Yeah, it's down in armor.
Oh, the Type DPM 101.
Yeah. What does it give you?
Armor +5.
So you're on +5 with no toughness. So this would be an increase. The other option they have is the Triax Enhanced, which is really nice. They'd kind of want that back, but you could use it for this mission and buy it if you wanted.
Kind of want that back.
Yeah. It's +7. It's +7 armor with +2 toughness, but it also enhances your strength and pace.
Holy cow! I forgot. I missed this part. Firing a boom gun caught sonic boom. Obviously, a failure on a vigor roll -2 inflicts hard hearing for 3d6.
Yeah, I told you that.
And makes the character shaken. Firing my gun is so voracious that it shakes you. But all you should just give me some distance. I just need to be back up.
Alright, so what are you telling me about these armors? About one you said they would want that back, but you could buy it when you get back.
You can buy it when you get back.
What about the other one? They just let me have it.
They'd let you have it.
The Peacekeeper.
So this, the Triax Enhanced, it's normal armor plus with a 7 +2, +7 armor +2 toughness, but it has a 96-hour battery that you can kick on at any time, and it will enhance your strength to D12 +2 and give you a +2 to your pace while that's going.
This is going to be crazy because the last couple of rounds we've been trying to see how much our characters can take.
Yeah.
We figured out the answer. Now we're like, let's make really stronger characters. All right, now let's see what we can do.
So it is the next step to power armor.
So this is not power armor. This is powered armor.
This is enhanced
armor.
Body armor.
Out of curiosity, how much does it cost?
200,000 credits. For you, it would be 250 to 300,000 because it's it's custom. Now you don't know who they had this built for, but it's already big enough to fit you.
Mine just not fit in the helmet, right?
Just make some modifications to the helmet.
Cut some holes for the ears.
Floop, floop, floop.
They're St. Bernard ears, so they're like...
So basically, I could borrow this better armor, or I could just have an armor that's still better than what I currently have.
That is correct.
I would take the take because you're gonna get this armor to borrow and then pay for it later.
No. You might die, so like it was really bad.
True. The Peacekeeper you've got for free, so if you don't die, you've already got something way better than what you've got right now.
The dwarf is looking at you.
Expectantly?
Expectantly.
He presses the button. And it goes,
Where let it be, boy?
ding, 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 ding,
Oh,
ding,
I'm sorry. I didn't mean it like that. I call everyone boy. It's not just you.
Is the tracks or whatever, does it mess with any of my senses or anything?
It's fully environmental, so
Yeah.
but you can pop the helmet open and keep the mask open to go. Having fully environmental around him is a good thing because it gives you bonuses when he sonic booms if you're too close.
Yeah, but it's like one of those things where I can kind of just like...
You just tell me if you're cracked open or not.
Okay. Let's just go with that one. Let's borrow the
All right.
triax.
So write it down under your armor. You can like write it next to the other one if you want to keep your old stuff, or write it on your new sheet.
Right here. You should put your stuff into...
No, not that.
Oh, it's not power armor.
It's not power armor.
That's right. Sorry.
So, your armor down there, just write over what you have in there. What does it say? What do you need?
Type.
Type is Triax T11 Enhanced.
Armor.
It's armor. Armor is +7.
Nice. Toughness.
Toughness is +2.
Minimum strength.
D8.
Got that.
You don't have to worry about that.
You got that.
Weight.
Weight.
What the hell's weight?
I don't know. I'm not on the sheet that tells me.
Oh, weave.
Doesn't matter.
And shield,
under-
I imagine, doesn't have shield.
Under notes, doesn't have a shield. Notes is strength D12 +2. Pace +2. And then put 96-hour battery. Alright. Oh, the weight. 40 pounds. There it is.
Your armor only weighs 40 pounds. That's nice.
And so, technically, under my toughness now, while wearing it, my automatically increased to 8 toughness? Or
Yes. What is your vigor?
8. D8.
So half that is
Plus 2.
4, +2 is 6, +2 from the armor is 8. So as long as you're in the armor, you're an 8. So in the thing, write 6/8. And then all told, 8 plus the 7, you're at a 15 now. So your total toughness with armor is 15.
Mm-hmm.
Dump it into protection. Force protection. So you're locked and loaded, geared up.
Imagine I can use all my same weapons. I don't need to...
Unless you're looking for something new.
No, like my vibro claws will fit even over
Yep.
this arm.
They can snap those over top of that. Doesn't take a dwarf very long to modify armor, especially the small things like that. Busy like tells you come back in an hour because he has to fit your face masks too. But you guys can discuss what you're going to do. Honeycomb comes up to you, James. You've known Honeycomb. He's kind of like the scout and frontliner. He's been here for a while. He's the guy in that power armor with the wings on top.
I keep mistaking him for Daisy from our first Rift.
Daisy was awesome.
She was cool.
She was in Titan.
She was a Samus, I thought.
She was in Titan. Titan flying the smaller,
That's right.
lightweight.
That's right.
This is the Predator is fairly big and clunky looking. It looks like the bumblebee with the wings on top. He walks up to you and says, "Hey, so Ella Owls, how she is with letting things go under her watch, and Bob has all got everything locked down and looked at, but I think I can let the girls take the transport out for a spin if you want to get a little taxi ride out to those foothills.
He's not with me right now, obviously.
He's not with you. No, he's getting his armor fitted and all that.
So he wants to taxi me and my armor out.
Yeah, he's offering to take that big transport that went and picked up all those people from the mine and drop you off. But this would be not up to code. It would be something that Elle and Bob don't know about.
Gotcha. So this is an option.
Yes.
Sorry. Remind me how my options when leveling up.
Oh. 2 skills that are below their linked attribute, a new skill, or a skill that's above its linked attribute by 1. An attribute, if you haven't taken one already for that.
Which I haven't done since I've been a veteran, so I could do that.
Yes. Or an edge.
Okay. But so,
Can make your smarts even higher.
if my smarts are a D10, as they are right now, if the skill is below a D10, I can do that one and another one.
Correct.
Right.
If it's a D8 or lower, you can do that one, and then you can do another one that's below the thing.
Okay.
But to get it past it, it's
To get it past the attribute, that's
just the
that's
entire
all.
thing.
Okay. All right. Sorry.
That's right.
I could figure that out while you guys are doing what you're doing.
So I would just say, let me talk about my crew first because I want to see what their plan of attack is. But we're definitely keeping you in mind. You got a number I can reach out or frequency. Or
Oh, you know where the girls are at over there. Just check it out. Just make sure you keep it on the down low and keep that shiny thing, I don't know, covered when you're heading over there.
I'll do my best.
Just
right.
Wear a tarp.
Yeah, right. I take it wrong. My glitter bug comes out with a blue cape.
Yeah, I just take you literally take a huge one of those huge canvas tarps and poncho it up. He pat you on the shoulder. He's a good old boy kind of guy. He's like, all right, and he goes. And the girls he's talking about, the 2 Sky Cycle pilots, are twins from Lone Star that defected.
When I bought the Rift's rulebook initially, Sky Cycle Pilot was my favorite drawing of the Coalition.
It was
the ridiculous helmet with that windscreen is fantastic.
Yeah. It was my second favorite. The Samus has always been my go-to. So, and you're looking across the field and you see the transport sitting there, and the girls normally run escort for it, so they're sitting by it on their Sky Cycle, or leaning up against their Sky Cycles talking.
I would probably walk it over there and put it on it. Because even if my group doesn't really agree or not, I can always take it off, right?
Yeah.
So it's
you just drop the tarp back down, and then get up and maneuver it so it's over. And
I walk like a Pac-Man goes. All right. Then he told me where.
Yeah, he's coming back up.
Oh, okay.
At this point,
Did I get 2 levels of?
2 levels of two advances.
So I could do 1 attribute, and then if I want to increase
skills,
2 skills that are beneath.
Yep. Okay. Edges, anything else.
Got
it. Do you have steady hands? I think it is the being able to fire from a.
I do not.
It's being able to fire on an unstable platform. The armored fronts of your vehicles, the thing in the middle, can take a mount. So you can lock your gun into there and use it as a firing point. The edge is design note. Steady hands. You ignore any penalties from shooting from an unstable platform, or for firing the backs from animals or running moving vehicles. So, and performing actions while running, you reduce the penalty to -1 instead of -2.
It's called steady hands.
Steady hands. Because he cannot shoot his gun while moving. He does have a laser rifle, though.
I have things to shoot when I get out, yeah.
Yeah. You can hold that.
Actually, I think I have a pulse. I think it's a pulse laser pistol, I think.
Oh, is it? Yeah, I know you have a pulse pistol. I thought you also had a rifle.
No, unless you cut off one of the pages. Because I have 22, 23, and 21.
Yeah, it's only the 3. Look at the last thing of the gear.
Yeah, so it's a pulse laser pistol, credits, and a survival pack, along with my own Huntsman lightweight personal armor that I can't wear in the Glitter Boy.
Yeah, it's sitting on a pack that you wear on your belt. Pulse laser pistol. All right. Do you want to buy a gun to take with you for other stuff?
I don't know what my money is at yet.
What is the starting funds?
Funds for him are 46 plus 100.
46 times 100?
Yep.
Okay.
I re-roll 6s.
No.
It's cool. I didn't get any.
Of course you didn't.
So it's $1,100 to start.
Let's see what I could give you. A Wilkes 320. That's shitty.
You're talking about getting something for my character to fire, or to fire in the armor, or using the armor?
Both.
Yeah.
It'd be a gun you could carry around with you when you can't use your boom gun.
Is there a really big shotgun?
Or you can take a melee weapon, but your fighting's not that great. But melee weapons are not cheaper. But
yeah.
Oof! Impact hammer. You can afford that.
How much is that?
Damn, that's awesome.
This is for the armor, obviously.
Yeah, like you'd carry that in case things got close.
Mm-hmm.
It'd be like Reinhardt from friggin' Overwatch.
I don't know who that is. Let the record show that I know. Overwatch.
It's 11,000. It's strength plus 2d6.
It's 11,000, $1,100.
Strength plus 2d6, and it raises damage to d10 when you turn it on. But you already you have the brawler and the martial arts abilities as well. But that's awesome. If you want to take that, if not, you can take a gun of some type.
No, let's give me that. I'm borrowing it at this point, right?
No, they'd be buying it with the money you rolled.
I have $1,100.
1,100?
Yeah. It's
times 100.
It's 46 times 100. I rolled an 11, so I got $1,100, right?
Yes.
So I can't afford that.
No.
It's 11,000.
Yeah. I misheard you.
It's okay. I think we'll be okay with what I've got so far.
You only got 1,100?
Yeah.
No. All right, let's just go with what we got. The great thing about fighting things like broadkill and gargoyles is all their weapons are your size.
Good point.
Just don't blow them up.
I'll do my best. Boom gun, glancing blow.
So you've headed back up to the
roll 9b4,
and he's putting a tarp around his glitter boy.
From inside the glitter boy, right? I'm inside wrapping it.
Sure. Either way.
Why are you putting a tarp on it?
I found us a ride out of here, but it's a secret.
The hell does that mean?
It means that we're secretly riding out of here, if you're cool with that. Instead of walking to the front, we found somebody that'll take us.
So having to drive there.
It's against protocol, but we won't have to take any of our own vehicles or leave anything behind.
Including your...
You'll take your vehicle.
Oh, so other way around. Sorry, I can't just walk this all the way down there. It will be faster if I ride this transport and you guys ride your carts.
No, everyone would be in the transport.
So they wouldn't be bringing their quads.
They will.
They will.
It's a big, it's like a C-130 type.
So then I would say, like, sorry, like it makes
it loads up everything.
It makes more sense for us to load than for me to walk.
Yeah, I mean, walking is not that tiring for you, and you couldn't walk miles. Like you're a vehicle.
You risk everybody seeing you,
right? And you risk being seen out there, and it's known that you're going out, and it takes a couple days to get there.
I can tell you from experience, it's better if we don't see my glitter boy till it's too late.
So
you are bringing it with you.
Yeah.
Honeycomb has offered a free ride as long as you don't mind breaking protocol.
It's up to you.
I don't care about protocol.
Mm-hmm.
Not this protocol. Not protocol.
Not this protocol.
Shani comes out from doing whatever Shani was doing. Walks up. She's rubbing her new tattoo, which seems to have been finished up completely now.
That's the one she was using before, right? The invisibility.
Yep.
Okay.
Are you ready, Shani?
Yeah. As ready as I'll be.
Let's go.
Is everyone ready then? Like, let's
I'm on the truck. Let's do it.
So you power up, stand up, have your tarp around you, just kind of inconspicuously glitter boy walk over to the transport.
Giant
You walk over and you see the two sky cycles with the two obviously coalition armor, but they're all Mexican design, colors, vibrant shapes.
They're with the coaliciones.
Yeah, and they are both obviously Hispanic women. They have their helmets off. They're talking to each other. One's got shaved side and hair going that way, and the other one has longer hair, but they look identical. Other than that, once they see you coming up, they're like, They kind of like look at you with like thumbs up. Like, are you taking the transport? We get on their cycles and start powering them up. And they like motion up to the transport itself, and you hear it. And people start like looking over, like, what's going on over there? And you guys, drive your quads around the back and load up into the ramp. You stride up in there and lock yourself down. So basically, you just kneel down and there's pull tie, like the pull cord clamps, and thing shuts, and you hear the two sky cycles take off, and then the whole thing rumbles and takes off itself. There's ports that look out, and there's also screens that'll show cameras, angles from all over this place. But you guys are heading out pretty low, keeping under, trying to keep visuals down and all of that fun stuff. Going out, you see the signs of preparation of war, the battalions, reinforcing the closer villages and farmlands. The movement of power armors and all kinds of stuff going on. Folks like look up and wave and all that kind of stuff as you go by. And as you go further out towards the foothills, the dancing foothills, it starts to thin out more. There's not much going on out here, and you fly over a destroyed village.
We're flying in this cart thing?
Yeah. No, it's a huge transport. It's kind of bulbous in the front and got a big back, but it's bigger than a C-130. I mean, this thing can fit probably 50 people in it, or 10 power armors. It's a big ship. Just flying along with the two sky cycles next to it. The village is ruined. Things are burned. You see what's obviously the remains of people that were killed here. It's pretty horrific. Like, it is like this wasn't to conquer. This wasn't to capture. Someone just tore through this place and left a message. they get a little bit slower. You get keep your eyes peeled type thought. Command, because you can drop you're kneeling on the inside the carrier at the back ramp, so they can drop the ramp and you can shoot out the back. You'd have to. It would hurt, but you could do it because you'd only have your thrusters. You are strapped down, but it's not as good as the pylons.
It'll disrupt a lot of the movement of the truck.
But just in case something comes up, that is an option inside this transport. You're heading out, and the pilot is like, I got some bad news for you guys. Looks like there's a ley line storm in the Dancing Hills today. You want to be in it, or you want to be out of it?
I don't want to be in.
I was gonna say, I'm like, I ain't never seen one of these before.
Yeah, you haven't been inside one.
They suck.
You suck.
They do suck. Shani's like, I don't want to be in it. The coordinates are leading us right to the middle of that thing, but I can drop you outside if you want.
Let's do that.
All right.
I want to be dropped in the middle of one of those.
High or low ground?
If you put us on high, you guys can work your way down and do what you got. But I still have advantage.
It's like high ground, preferably.
You guys, this transport, he pilots it really well, and it's cumbersome. The thing you feel when he's braking and he's swinging the back, you're all moving. He comes around. You also starting to hear rain hit the carapace of it. You can feel the magic in the air from the storm being out there and the ley lines that are around this area.
Are we close enough that it's messing up his sensory perceptions already?
It's definitely going to be in the way. And not only is a shifter would want to be here because of the ley line nexuses, he'd be here for that exact reason. He can't be tracked, he can't be noticed, he can't be scried upon with all these ley lines around and all this magic going on. The tail drops out, and he just kind of he puts it as close as he can to ground. I mean, you're up in foothills, so there's nothing real solid down here. You and Shani jump out, no problem. I want you to give me a agility check.
Not a piloting?
No, it's not piloting. It's just a straight agility with the +2.
So it's good
because it's just it's really just.
No,
you.
it's fine because my.
It's better than
your.
It's
better than my pilot.
Yeah. It is you, but you are an ace pilot with it, so you get the +2.
So it would be 22 plus 2, so 24.
Here's a Benny. You make it look good. You make it look easy.
I get another cup,
Yeah. You just, you unstrap, chink, and,
You can hear my microphone go.
From the kneeling position, you, spring up, 1 foot down, leap out, hit the ground in the superhero pose.
Stab sequence.
And stand up. So there's a bit of a retcon in this because of size comparisons. You're only about 8 to 9 feet tall. Mm-hmm. He's 10 foot. Broad killer 10 foot. So you're here to him, but it's still it's bigger than Shani. It's Shani, and then you, and then him.
Plus, I think a lot of the glitter boy is the chunk of it. It's It's not just tall.
You have 1,000 rounds this big in a backpack on your back. It is crazy. You have a container with your survival pack and your armor and your every bit of gear. This thing, it's not just power armor, it's a vehicle. It's everything. It's your mount, it's your self, it's your trailer.
Makes the Japanese shiny noise. That
you still have the tarp on, I'm assuming. Because you can keep that on if you want. It'll help. It won't completely negate your stealth penalty, but it'll help for a while. And eventually it's going to be blown off.
I mean, am I wearing it? Like, is it covering the whole thing?
It's like basically like a poncho. Like it's just coming down to here. Your legs are showing your helmet.
I guess. All right.
It does.
Yeah, I'll keep the thing.
And that thing, the first time you get hit with an MD weapon, that thing's just going to shred.
Yeah, fine.
But for now, you're inconspicuous.
Can't see me from quite as far away. Although it's less dramatic than me, like whoosh.
Yeah.
After I see him land, I look at Shani and go, look at this fucking asshole.
I heard that.
Good.
Lock into place.
Show offs. But hey, he's on our side at least. So, you're looking down across these foothills, and you're starting to see why they call them the Dancing Foothills. You know, you've got some brush, some scrub, but you see these little, canyons and rivulets and all this stuff around there, and the storm is there, and you see a ley line crossing the horizon, and just by passing your eyes over, like, you get this weird, like, can't focus too clearly on the far away, and when you pass your eyes back, you swear it's a different landscape.
Both of us get that?
Yes, everyone. It's like down where the ley line storm is, it's almost like the earth is just changing its pattern.
It's almost as if it's shifting.
Dancing. And the storm is swooping over there. So you can try to make your way further, like, across the foothills and keep your vantage to look down and try to wait for the storm to get out. Or you can start going down towards the storm and see if you can pick up any signs of either the Shamarian or the Shifter.
Or you can split the party and do that. I'll hang out up here. I love to split the party. Don't split the party. Take some charisma. Ugly as fuck. Go out on my own. Never take the GM's advice. Roll for initiative.
Always take perception or notice. What? D4.
The GM's had enough of your bullshit. Witness Cthulhu in power armor. Roll for initiative.
It was such a great.
I like that a lot. Also a cool picture.
Let's maybe try to stay on the outskirts of the storm and see if we can't maybe see anything besides the land itself changing.
Can my sensor suite see through that a little bit? Would I be able to tell?
Not at this range.
Not at this range. If I got close enough, would I be able to see through it a little bit?
You'd see. You could do your heat signature through it. You could do your infrared through it. I mean, it would help.
Skinny that. Like, if we get closer, this boy will pick it up.
I don't know. I think the enhanced might have a sensor suite on it as well, so you might both be able to get up there and look in. But you also know that, again, if the landscape itself is shifting inside there, you could pick up ghost heat signatures, even see phantoms, like real things going on.
I mean, I guess I could shoot into it.
Pop a couple rounds off. I attacked the darkness. I attacked the ley line storm.
The ley line takes 4d12 plus 6 damage.
The ley line seems unaffected.
The ley line's armor is 245.
Ley line doesn't have armor. It doesn't need it.
Level dungeon master reading.
I throw a rock at it. Does it notice?
Does it notice?
I don't hear any dice rolling.
It's that old. There's a guy that drew. I think he's the guy from the Oatmeal, but he draws that one where it's the Viking from Skyrim, and he's like standing around looking, and you hear "fuck," and an arrow sticks in his helmet, and he goes, "Hey." Must have been the wind. Like, he just
arrows.
You didn't set him off, and he was like, whatever. Whack. Why won't you die? That's Oblivion. Is it? Alright, so you want to Leyline's fuzzing up our equipment.
Are you staying at high altitude and seeing if you just get a good view of the land? I mean, you're not going to be able to do that.
For now, yes.
And let the storm kind of go away, or are you going to
I'm down for
move forward?
Position. We can move, but I think he's right that we should keep the high ground.
Okay.
That's what I think, anyway.
I just want to stay high and
I've got the high ground, Anakin.
Still sort of just out of the storm itself, but, just maybe try to get some different angles, see if we can see anything.
All right.
Glitter boy flight? Any kind of flight for the glitter boy? No. Those are just compensating.
Yeah, the only time those things help you move is in water.
That's right. That's what it was. That's what it was. Remember that using the notice checks.
Survival.
Okay.
For him, because it's tracking.
I don't have it either way, so I rely on my equipment to track.
Shani will try to help you.
Okay. So, but it's survival.
It is.
My survival and tracking are the same die, so it doesn't matter. But
you're not tracking anything at the moment.
You're observing.
You're observing and trying to, not get enveloped by the storm.
Wait and see if Shani helps me. Then
Nope.
Perfect.
That's a wild card. Shani
sucks. You have it's a 5.
5. So you move around and you find a really good position to be in. It's, still elevated with some walls, so you can have some cover. You can see a wide range. There's good scrub around it. You trench in there for a bit and watch the storm, and the storm starts to thin out. Of course, it's a ley line storm. It's all kinds of crazy lightning shooting up from the clouds, down from the clouds moving in crazy different ways, vortexes coming out of them, and then all the clouds kind of zoom in to one spot, and then just kind of funnel down like a drain just opened up. And when that opens, there is the ruins of a city or a town down in the foothills, right in the center of where the ley line storm was.
Did anyone else see that?
No, what
I
are you
mean, we're
talking
right
about?
here behind you.
You can talk through the radio tool.
Oh, that's right. I forgot there was radio. I'm announcing everything through the Glitter Boy's microphone. Can my sensor suite pick up stuff from here? Or are we still too far away?
Yeah, it's too far away. You get normal kind of scan at this range, but
something tells me we should go check out that little town. There's got to be something going on down there.
Yeah, the clouds has appeared right in the middle of it. Right?
Yeah, that's
let's take a look.
Suspicious. Also, they didn't mention anything about a town being here.
Maybe they didn't know.
Oh, we're here now. Let's check it out. Fuck it, let's do it live.
Let's do it live. So you start heading down the foothills. It takes about a couple hours to get there from your vantage point up in the mountains, climbing your way down, making sure not to make too much dust and noise. Your little quads.
At a -8.
I was like, yeah, our stealth over here.
No dust on it.
Yeah.
Like I'm dragging my toes. Yeah. Like I get the poncho on. It keeps blowing in the wind.
You just your head and legs are showing, but you're making sure to do it a lot.
I'm sure in the video that was a weird way to show that I was shining. I'm like,
look! So, you see, as you get down to it, the architecture of this town is not from around here. It's mainly stonework.
Are the stones native stones? Do they look like they're from the area? No. The architecture is different, so the stones themselves even look like they're odd.
Yeah, it's more sandstone-ish, not granite and all that stuff.
So not from around here, can we tell if they've been designed at least by a human, or does it look inhuman? Or we can't
It looks human-sized, like doorways and windows and houses seem to be human-sized. Nothing's screaming crazy physiology yet.
Oh, I cannot obscure the area.
No, you don't have to obscure it. The first thing you need to get is smoke launchers. So you can
obscure area.
That'd be a good thing to have on a freaking clairvoyance smoke launcher.
Obscure, at least obscure myself. Yeah.
Mm-hmm. So, you're still on the outskirts. I'm not having you go in on your own until you tell me to. Your sensor scans show that it's warm. Like, everything is hotter than the landscape around it, but it's not super heated or anything like that. It just seems like what sandstone would be if it was out in the sun all day, which this definitely wasn't.
Mm-hmm. Well, what do you see? My boy's not showing me much.
You wanna sniff?
Yeah.
See what you can smell?
Let's do that.
So we're not, just so we're clear too, like what we were seeing was a ley intersection, like a nexus point?
No, it was just a storm. Like, you see a ley line off to the side, and it looks like it either goes behind the town,
off to the side
or
means like far enough away that he's
like,
not really...
Right, it's not
okay.
messing with them. Like, you see it along the hill line, the landscape,
Gotcha.
and you think it goes behind where this town is, but it might intersect part of it. But the ley line storm was just coming off of that ley line and off into the foothills and all around. And when it settled, when it disappeared, it went right down into this and popped this open.
We'll get after it.
Make a notice check. You do not get your +2 because there's so much ambient magic.
Double ones, baby.
Pretty close, dude.
I almost called it.
You notice that the storm is gone.
Yep.
Still.
You smell magic. It's all over the place still. There's a ley line there. There was a storm here. This has obviously been transplanted from somewhere else. Nothing's giving you anything specific, though.
Alright, well, who's down to head into town?
I'm down. I'm not picking much up, so I'd like to see what caused that at least. Right. Everything's very warm here.
Like, I'm guessing generally we could see kind of the layout of the town. We can kind of tell where the center is. And
Yep.
Are his sensors giving him the same data that's giving me? Like,
yes.
Does he see warmth on buildings, so I don't need to explain that to him anymore? The same sensors.
At this point, I would definitely be...
So you're sealed?
Because I'm too close to this thing.
Okay. So you seal up, your sensors come on.
Does sealing up protect him from ley line interference?
Absolutely.
He just loses his powers, obviously, as far as...
Because he has no powers in it. But
so
it stops him from getting fatigued from the ley lines.
Gotcha. This is a smart move. Cool. All right.
You start heading into town, and like immediately upon stepping onto like where the town is, you notice the difference. Like, you went from foothills, like hard sedimentary stone, to sandstone, packed earth and dust and dirt.
So the ground is different.
The ground is completely different. This ground does not belong in this ecosystem. It's from somewhere else. Shani walks up and like touches the stonework, and she's like, "Yeah, this feels warm. Like it's a cool winter day out in the Ozarks, and like this has warmth to it. Like it's been baked in the sun all day."
In the town, as I look around, I'm not seeing a different environment at all, am I? This looks not like there's not a bubble of like a tropical area that's around me. Like I still see the ley line in the distance.
You can still see the ley line. You can still see the clouds. You still see the Ozarks. The foothills of the Ozarks, and off to the...
Beautiful, by the way, I totally suggested.
You what?
I said beautiful, by the way, I totally suggested. The Ozarks are amazing.
So if you're in northern...
They reach from Arkansas all the way up to like Maine.
So
they go along this ridge.
Maine. So they go east.
To the east, yeah.
Okay, so yeah, you see the Ozarks.
It was actually one of the main things that staunched the colonization of America. Actually, when they all started on the east and stuff, a lot of the Ozarks kind of helped us back. They provided natural cover. Obviously, but they also created a natural barrier as well.
Natural border. Mm-hmm. So yeah, you see the Ozarks. Like you came down from the foothills of the Ozarks, so you're heading west, and you enter this town. You see them behind you. You see, forested things beyond the town.
So as I look around the town, does it look, because it's vacant, we don't see, I'm not picking anybody up, does it look struggled? Does everything look, does things look damaged? Is there stuff in the houses? Can we tell?
Investigations.
I don't have any fucking investigation. Alright.
Do you not?
He does not.
It's like I do.
Oh.
He needs a couple more advances to build out his skill set.
I've been very one-sided, like Iggy, but like a little less worldly than he
Does
was.
Shani have investigation?
She does. It's low though.
So you have
Can she
investigation,
help
right?
me?
She is trying, but she fails. I cannot get above a 3 today.
And I can't help with that, right? I don't have any. I can't help if I don't have the skill. There you go.
I mean, you can try. You do get a +2 for your just having the sensors and everything. So it negates the -2. So it's D4, D6.
2, so we do not help.
Yeah.
All right.
So
You got a 5.
5 with a +2.
No.
Do I get a +2?
You do get a +2 from your sensor suite.
Oh, then 7.
7.
Yeah. Not a raise, but
Something happened here, but it doesn't look like it was attacked or destroyed. There's things that are disheveled.
like torn curtains.
Yeah, curtains are thrown open, baskets are strewn on the streets. It looks like there might have been a panic.
So less of like a storming, more of an evacuation.
Something like that. And you come around, and assuming you're looking into some of the buildings and the homes, there's nothing more than 4 stories here. It's all sandstone blocks or some type of adobe with wood, framing.
Is there artwork on the walls and things?
You start looking in. There's nothing on the outside. There's carvings along tile sets and along some. But
I think what I'm trying to see is if it looks, because this looks out of place.
Yeah.
I'm wondering if it did come from someplace else. So if I look inside and I see the artwork, is it all pictures of jungles? Is it all pictures of the ocean? Everybody's house has an ocean.
We should definitely look in at least one house.
Okay.
At random, doesn't matter. Just
unless you want me to get out, you're gonna have to go in alone because I can't take this into that house unless you want me to get out.
No, don't
all right.
Get out.
So he goes in. Sorry, you're gonna go in.
Yeah.
I'll stand guard out front.
Stand right outside the door. Me and Shani will walk in.
So Shani pulls out her blade.
Commence observation.
She pulls out her blade, the khopesh, the flaming khopesh, and she says, this is very reminiscent of ancient Egypt, but it's off. It's not right. It's just not the same.
It's fine.
And you head into the building. It has pretty much a wood pole above the door with a heavy leather drape, but the drape has been ripped, so it's just kind of hanging half in the doorway. You look in, simple bed, straw with a blanket over top of it, tables, chairs. There's a chair that's knocked over, and then there's a basket on the ground that's tumbled. And then there's this mark along the wall. It's brownish. Kind of goes up from where the chair and the table was. And then there's a little hallway that looks like it goes back to another part of this area. I mean, it's not really a hallway. It's pretty big, but there's another... You see it kind of goes around the corner of this another room.
Like a purposeful mark? Or is it a swipe of a hand?
It's pretty big, solid. The edges of it are erratic and smeared, not defined. Almost looks like someone liked to paint, but it's a lot.
I said it's brownish.
Yes. Do you want to investigate further?
That's my favorite. So when you say brown, is this like an ochre or more like a puce?
Yes, let's investigate further.
So puce is purple.
So make me notice as you move around into the other room to see the rest of the stain.
Guess I'm not inside any.
There's a 5.
Your sensors won't help you yet when you get in there. Let's see. For Shani, see what she gets. Notice D8. No. You guys have been screwing me. Do I just only have green? Oh, there we go. 14. I think +2 because of something. Nope. So like you both kind of like moving into the other room, and it's like really like this room is like kind of a big roundy room. Like the bed's over here, there's shelving over here, and then there's this little indentation which looks like it's like the family room. There's other stuff in there, and as you're like kind of going around, she like grabs you on the shoulder and kind of backs you up. And kind of like, like squat down a little bit. And as you squat down and look right at the edge, as you're looking from the table into the other room on the corner, you see that it's an outline of a person. That looks like it's been splashed up against the wall.
Like blood? Or like...
You don't know what the material is yet, but it is like definitely has like an outline of a person up against the wall.
Like, so there's an outline of a person and this stuff is
No.
around
it is like
or
it is. It's the inside of the outline. Like it is forming a shape of a person that looks like it's been hit up against the wall and smeared out. Did you hear that?
I heard the ending of it again. But he can tell me when he gets out. I'm not actually inside. So.
Can we touch it?
If you want to go up to it.
That's going to be my new
Can I touch
favorite
it?
like question to ask the GM. Can I touch it? Yeah, obviously you can touch it.
Of course you can.
Of course you can.
There's a bulbous, pulsating mass in front of you. Can I touch it?
Yes, you are consumed by the bulbous mass of your tentacle.
I'm not going to stop you. You live your best life.
I kind of want to gather what kind of like substance this is.
I mean, going up and looking at it through the sensors doesn't give you much. You know exactly what blood and whatever else would smell like, but you'd have to crack open for that.
Mm-hmm.
Is cracking open... So, just so I know, for future, like with armors especially, cracking open is like putting my armor on when I was burster. Like it happens this turn. I don't need to roll for cracking and reopen.
You cannot.
I can't, I know, but
Yeah.
I'm saying like in general.
For him, he has an automated faceplate that kind of pops up and down like Iron Man.
Okay.
So he can open and close. It's not... It could be a free action, I guess. It's not as fast or responsive. It's something you do. Like,
yeah. Predator.
Yeah, just pull off my mask. I just need... Like, Shani's obviously not in power armor. She's just standing there. So she's also heavily magicked and protected by that.
So I would probably open up so I can get a good sniff.
Give me a sniff.
Sniff it up.
Am I noticing?
Yep.
Okay.
Also going to give you I'm going to give you the +2 because you're like right up on it. Like it's...
That's not very good. But you still succeed with the +2, so it's a 5.
5.
Is that it?
We need to get those rolls out of our system real
Right?
quick. I think we should before we play, we should just start throwing dice for half an hour and get
rid of
our bad rolls.
20, 30, 60,
Yeah,
exactly. And then you play 1, 2, 5.
I was joking about whether or not you could touch it, and I'm like, of course you can. I rolled a natural 12 on a D12. I'm like, no, that's a wasted damage roll.
You know that you have to get 4 D12s now.
I know. I was thinking about that. Well, he gave me one for luck because there seems to be I would have to borrow his 12 from now on though. But I think I have to run by the store anyway. I might just end up with some more D12s pretty soon.
It's definitely person originated.
Okay.
A little bit of sweat, a little bit of blood, a little bit of flesh.
Okay. Let's close up and walk outside.
Okay. These two come back outside. You can't tell his expression, but Shani's Shani's a little bit more wary now.
Hey, what'd y'all see in there?
We saw what looks like sort of almost like a silhouette of a person.
Like walking around?
No, like on the wall. Like a mix of blood, skin, sweat. Like almost like they were just I don't know if they're semi-vaporized or exploded or what.
Shani, she'll hold open the curtain. You can look in from this angle if you want to kneel down on one arm, on one knee, and look in through the door. You can kind of get an angle and see. You can see the smear. It doesn't too much look like a person to you, but
gross. Is that back up?
Shani heads into the abode across the street from that one.
So I guess I walk over and post in front of that one now and continue doing the same thing.
Yeah, so I guess I'll follow her.
In there, you see there's one of those from the floor next to a table, goes a little bit up a wall. And again, you can only see it, it's super elongated and pushed out. You have to get in certain angles to see the human element of it. And then there's another one against the wall. Make me a notice check.
Damn, you're noticey as hell.
4
+ 2, right? Oh no, your helmet's closed.
Yeah. Yeah. There's one against the wall there and one on the floor.
But from looking at them, because now I've seen one too, they look human though, right? They're killing squids on the floor or something like that.
Yeah, they're not four-armed or anything like that. It's a human shape. 2 arms, 2 legs. Torso, head.
Is there power in this town? As I look around, so this is sheds with stoves and stuff that look like it was ever powered before?
No.
No street lights or light bulbs in the houses or anything like that. It's just shacks.
Shacks with stone hearths and.
Gotcha.
This is primitive.
I would probably skinny that information. I don't know if anybody else thought about it. Hey, this place looks fairly, fairly primitive, especially which seems strange for the distance it is from actual civilization
or being on Rift's Earth at all.
Mm-hmm.
You can't be on Rift's Earth without having some technology around, unless you choose not to.
You should taste the brown stuff.
Lick it. After, can I touch it? You have to follow up with, can I lick it?
Well, I touched it and I sniffed it.
I got an 11 to force you to do it.
Rub his nose in it.
Bad boy.
Why did I do this?
Sorry. So the lake storm is gone. When it was, can we tell where in the town it ended?
Kind of the center
town. So I think we've seen what we're going to see from the houses. Why don't we move towards the center?
That's what I was going to say. Might as well just move towards the center because I don't know what exactly these things are.
Well, I guess in character, I would just check on you and be like, so is your suit holding your hearings back? Like, in other words, you're not getting fucked up by this energy in your helmet?
No, this new suit's nice. I don't have that issue right now.
You should totally buy that.
I still don't know how much money I made from the last job.
I bet you didn't make $50,000.
200,000.
That's what we made last time?
No, that's how much that armor costs.
Oh. I was this was made last time? Like, fuck yeah. Too bad Dicky's dead. You get all the cut. You and Shani.
That's true. Like, do we get...
Yes.
Absolutely. You guys get my cut. Are you kidding me?
Not only not only do you get, like, his cut, you get his, essentially, his insurance payoff for his, his...
This destroyed the base bonus.
Yeah, like... He died, so he gets... Family and loved ones get a bequeath or whatever it is. So you're going to start heading towards center of town? Like, you've figured out that uninhabited, weird stains. Now let's go look
Anybody
at the
that was
beginning.
here seems to be dead, so whatever's going on.
Notice is all around.
I do have notice. I have a good notice.
Oh, boy. I'm flirting with that double one tonight.
9.
So, Shani got an 11, you got a 9. You fail.
You're
not used to, like, the armor. Like, it's not just...
That must be what it is.
It is. It's not just the fact that
it's...
it's...
to write that in, so yeah, that's what happened. That's why you're failing.
It's not just the full environmental. It makes noise constantly. Like, it has a battery in it that's just sitting there waiting to turn on.
Plus, I
the
think
servos clank and move.
Or like as a dog, you smell everyone that's ever worn that helmet. You'd be like, God damn it! Like, you gotta
that dwarf's cologne on there, and he has a shitty taste for human cologne. Like, it is terrible.
Someone threw up in it once. You smell
it's
the paint.
Dracar Noir. Like, it's fucking terrible.
It's English leather from before the apocalypse. Like, it's expired, horrible cologne.
Was that called English leather? Is that horrible cologne?
English leather is like it was a freebie during the early 90s when they were trying their last hurrah to get rid of what they had left over from the 70s.
Like, I remember the something leather cologne.
It's
like
English leather.
Bottle.
Yep,
like,
there's Brute's the green bottle. English leather.
Brute.
English leather came in like a dark brown bottle. The thing on the front, but it literally had like a picture of his saddle. It said English leather. Like, why would you want to smell like this? It's like a picture of a butt receptacle with the word English in front of it. It's like English saddle.
My cologne doesn't smell like enchiladas. Like, everyone loves enchiladas. Like, what girl wouldn't want you if you walked up smelling like enchiladas?
So once as a joke,
like, I'm hungry.
I ordered from Archie McPhee a bacon soap.
Oh.
And it came in a tin, and you open it up, and it's bacon-colored looking soap. And you smelled it, and I was like, it smells a little bit like bacon, but mostly like the tallow, like they made it from the bacon grease. And I was like, I'm still going to give it a try. And I like bathed with it. And I was like, it smells like a fryer. And my bathroom smelled like the kitchen at like a fast food restaurant. And I was like, ugh. So I had to take like 2 more showers with the doors open. I'm like, no. Buy a candle for my house to stick the fucking grease scent out of it. It was terrible.
Your sensors, you and Johnny, like Shani hears it naturally. You hear it, through your pickups. There's echoes. There's chirps.
Like radar pings.
They're not like radar pings. It's like if you were in a big canyon and someone somewhere called out or yelled that.
So when you like click something like it'd be like.
Yeah, it's
Gotcha.
So
reverb.
You hear 2 or 3 quick call outs that don't sound like it's on the cusp of could be animal, could have been something weird.
Despite the reverb, does it sound like it's live? Like it's not like it doesn't sound like a recording.
Not that you notice.
Might be time to
and like there's the center is this way, and those things came from that way.
How far away are we from the center?
Hard to tell, but the whole town is not more than like 5 miles across, so it's not that far.
So I tell him, like, I hear people or things talking or conversing or making noise at least. Do you want me to follow you or do you want me to post here?
This is going to be weird.
Mm-hmm.
Fighting with you.
I'm basically going to be a satellite for you.
He is an artillery piece that you have to set up.
I know, that's what I'm just like.
It's a weird considering the character I just played before. So we're gonna have to see if this is gonna work or not. We're gonna have to blaze some glory, James, real quick, so we can write a more effective character.
Nah, it'll be fine. It'll be fine.
All right. So which direction?
We heard them off to the east. Then we came in from the west. In the center, we were heading west. So if we heard it to our right, so it's coming from the north.
All right. Well, I guess do what you got to do and face
I think
that direction.
if I take a couple of steps back, I can keep the center of town in the direction in my 180 field of vision.
It looks like you guys are heading like this place. Most of this place isn't built like in a grid. It's kind of organic and circular shaped. The town, like when you looked at it coming down, but you've already seen a couple from the outside. That once a couple of these pathways, these streets get together, they'll have a little opening, a little open area, like a fountain, a well, or something to that effect, and bigger buildings that probably support local community stuff. So, like, you're really close to one, and if you can post up there, you could cover a lot of ground. You can get a lot of entrances.
If I post up here, if I post up in that.
Post up, like, right as you get to that. Like, from the street you're on, you'll block out where you came from and be able to see all the other exits.
Well, I guess I would say that, hey, if we're going to go any farther towards the sounds, or even if we're going to go farther towards things, I can tell that there's a spot where my visibility will be clear, and it would be a good place for me to stop. I'll follow you if you want me to, but I suggest parking my boy up there.
Alright, well.
You don't have to. I'll follow your lead.
I don't know
and
exactly how your stuff works, though. So.
I can always fly and get a narrow view, but everything will see me.
I can tell you how my stuff works. If you're within 10 feet of me, then you don't want to be there. If I see you on the street, you don't want that to happen.
You definitely want to be 10 plus feet away from him when that thing goes off.
Luckily, you won't go deaf because your armor is going to keep you in check, but you still want to give me a little bit of space. So if it's I guess just say that then. If it's okay with you, I think I found a good spot for me to post up while you search further.
All right, you post up there. Me and Shani will scout towards these.
All right, so
these sounds.
So part of that posting then. Do I have to take a turn putting my bolts in?
Yep.
Are bolts in, guns down 1 turn, or is it bolts in, gun down 2 turns?
No, all 1 turn.
Okay, so I'm going to walk up there and then bolts down.
It takes you 1 turn to completely set up to fire.
Okay. I would like to use this downtime to, walk up and you can, I'm in.
It's not super loud, but...
It's like one of those.
That would do the same thing that, like, what you just heard. Like, you heard someone
feel it in your butt.
Making something too loud over there. That is like, if someone was listening, they'd hear.
Yep. Oh my God.
Lefty or righty?
Me?
Yeah.
Righty. Yeah, I still fire right down there when I shoot guns too. So I was gonna say, well, no, I'm right-handed. It would be nice to have a melee weapon, but nah. Like it would be like this, even though I don't need this hand for that. Sorry.
Shani armors up, which is the first time you've seen her Egyptian-style armor, and now she's been carrying around her flaming khopesh, like she's fully clad out Egyptian style now. And she reaches back and she pulls out her Wilkes 447 laser rifle and cuts out the trigger guard and hands it to you, James.
She hands me what? Sorry.
A Wilkes laser rifle.
I can hold in my arm.
Yeah, it's tiny, but she pulled out the trigger guard, so you just have to smash where the trigger is and fire.
I'd gladly take them. Thanks, little lady.
I haven't used that thing in months. You might want to go over it once to make sure it's still operable.
So I begin to put my big gun away so that I can look over this rifle and make sure that I can pop it and cock it and start to
make a mechanics.
Fucking asshole.
You guys are heading off.
I'll explain later. 2.
Okay. You're getting a little bit too focused on
I'm
this.
not comfortable with the condition
like,
of
and
the
it's a Wilkes, and they're pieces of shit. They're just known as the stamped out line.
So here's a question: is this a low enough roll that James might actually be like, well, it's not worth continuing to use. I'm not going to use this.
It could be. Like, it could be like you failed and you are not confident that thing is ready to fire and will fire.
So I'm going to place it on the ground then. Okay. Or no, I can strap it.
Yeah, you can put it in your... You have things like... You have your belt and all that stuff. You have cases and hooks and all that stuff. So you just...
All right, so...
Put it on your case
with all your gear. And then resume.
But it takes you...
Yeah.
Like, you really want to get this thing to work, so it takes you a while. Gotcha. So you guys are heading out. You staying together, splitting up?
Staying together.
You sure? I'm already separate.
And you're heading towards the sound or the center?
The sound.
Okay. So you're heading down towards the sound. Stealth checks!
I cannot help you.
Do I have less because of my armor? It's not a power armor, so I don't have a negative.
No. As long as you don't have it turned on, it's not emitting that much noise.
What the fuck is my sound?
4.
What the fuck is this?
Playing my knife.
Yep.
That's why I said I'll explain it to you later.
Okay.
If you ask the right questions.
Well, that's interesting. You just keep accumulating bennies as we go.
Yep.
Now you got more than me.
Well, you have to remember that Iggy had really bad luck, like in numerous ways, not just like bad luck, but like bad luck.
What'd you get?
4.
Would he be able to upgrade eventually? This, like, if he bought this armor, can you buy armor upgrades?
I mean, there's not like upgrades in the book, but with like the technical skill and engineering,
like tear the faceplate off so that he can, even when he's harbored, he can smell. You know.
I mean, then it wouldn't be environmentally sealed.
Well, I mean, like something he could break away.
Oh yeah,
break away the helmet without coming out and put it back in.
Make a more modular piece.
Keep his sensor suite on while he uses his normal skills.
Mm-hmm. All kinds of stuff like that.
Sweet.
Modded up.
Not for the glitter boy though. Probably not. No.
You can try. Like I'm saying, like putting smoke launchers.
I would like to obscure the area. This is my favorite.
I'd do it.
All right.
I would let that happen.
Yeah, we'll talk about that later.
You are thinking you're really quiet, but this place is, the sound of the grave. You're starting to see now more of those stains, but they're outside on the street, up against walls, against buildings and such. You're going through. It's unnerving. It's too quiet. These stains are really not, instilling confidence about this place.
I come across on the comms. Hey, Shani.
Yep.
Did you drop this thing in the mud?
It's been through a lot.
Ouch.
I really can't remember the last time I had that thing in my hand.
I heard that.
Tracking.
Three.
So you guys are wandering off.
So I think you've taken as much bad luck from this as you're going to. So we're going to put these back. See if that helps you.
notice.
Only took a full year of playing RPGs with Deyton, or with Wiley as the fucking GM for me to be like, fine, notice 8, charisma plus 4. Is that what you want from me?
Is that what you want?
Is that what you fucking want? Is that what you fucking want? 3, god damn it.
Okay.
No.
Adding or...
I'm going to add... So add 16 to my 319 for my notice.
Sensor goes off, proximity alert, your little thing
You
around.
notice your proximity alert. Roll a 19.
It wasn't just for like... It's not just representative of you. It is representative of everything.
No, totally. It's their effect
stuff.
on the neighborhood and stuff like that.
Well, it's mainly some people can stealth past your sensors.
Absolutely. Not when I've tweaked them that nice.
But in this case, they failed because they picked it up. Like your sensors just got that thing. So it's like, something's behind you.
God damn it. So it's still my turn then. So
yep, you're sitting there looking at the Wilks. Like this is like the last turn. You were like, you're now in your mind. You're like, I got to put this away.
So
and then
I guess this would be a technical question then. If I pull my stakes out, did that also make noise? It was like,
yep.
So like you can tell that I did it.
Yeah. Your sonar, your little not sonar, but your LiDAR, whatever it is, your little sweep is showing one thing, man-sized, moving towards you from behind.
So, all right. I'm going to. I'm gonna pull my anchors.
The thing disappears for your radar.
Alright, so after that happens, I am probably still gonna take a step and
turn around, look, notice.
$13.
Okay. You notice on the side of the building, from sidewalk-ish, or where the pathway is, up against where the building is, there's been some disturbed like dirt and stuff like that. Like someone was crawling or moving slowly down that, and then there's a between two buildings alleyway there. You also notice up to the right, one of the taller buildings down this path, like 2-story building. There's still a little bit of dust kick up up there. So it was outside of your radar range and your motion sensor and all that. But it looks like maybe someone was up there.
Does this dust? Can I tell the dust? It looks like they got out of the window, or just
it's on top of the building.
It's the top of the building.
Yeah.
So I guess at this point I would project come out. We're here to help.
You gonna tell these guys what's going on? Or are they just going to hear you calling
I think
out?
that I probably would have jumped at the opportunity to try to provide help. So I've already said it. So
yep. Okay.
But they can hear.
You
can hear my.
You hear James because it's a loud. Like you have a magnifying. You have a loudspeaker.
Come
out. We're here to help.
Fuck.
Like Shani's like.
Stealth -8 right here.
So Shani turns around and starts not running, but moving tactfully fast back towards him, looking over at you. I
would probably there would probably be a second where I'm like, what? And then I would follow her, but also kind of
sweep in the area.
Fuck. Bad at this.
And again, not running because I'm
just so you know, I almost picked Big Mouth with this character as a hindrance again, with Vernon. You're that's not what you told her you were going to pay for. Shut up. Yeah. Shut up.
So you exit that out and you're looking around, hoping for the best of people. And the dust settles up there. You don't hear anything or pick up anything from around that corner. Then you get 2 signatures coming from behind you. across the courtyard.
Like, can you tell that it's us?
I'm gonna pretend that with these, now that I keep being snuck up on, I'm gonna pretend that I don't see these. I'm gonna stand in position and continue to look back and forth.
You come back to you get to the mouth of the square, the open area, the pavilion or whatever you want to call it. It's promenade. And Shani kneels down next to a little outcropping from a building and digs in, and you tuck in because you're not going to just run across this open area. And the glitter boy is turned around looking back down the street you guys came from. This whole big open area is not being covered. No shake.
Oh, that's right. I turned away from the area I was supposed to be guarding.
Your facing is very important.
What?
You are now looking back down the other way.
Yeah.
3.
I haven't been on a mission in a while.
Yeah.
You want to notice better?
You want to spend a Benny?
It's free Benny day. Let's use our Bennies.
Just gonna add a 6 to it.
That's so
7.
Jesus.
Okay. +2 because your sensor suite.
Hey.
Off.
Is there even a 6?
I bought you a D5 for some reason.
There's the ones that just have 1, 2s, and 3s on them. It's a D3, so it has 1, 2, 3 twice. So you post up there, and you take in the assessment that the glitter boy is not facing this area. So you immediately start looking at the surroundings, and you get about 2 roadways down, and you look and you see something sticking out from the building, and the moment you see it goes back down, back against the wall or wherever it was.
And I can't tell what the hell it was. If it was a tip of a gun, hand, a head.
It was dark.
Wing.
It's darker than the surroundings. So it's not sandstone. It's not anything like that. And it kind of was you got the impression that there was horns or spikes.
Say the word, I'll waste these buildings. You fire at the building. Armor piercing 25.
Code of honor. I don't know if you can just indiscriminately fire into buildings.
Of course not.
But that just so Glitter Boy is here. There's things like roadways and all that. So Glitter Boy is here. The next roadway is here, which is a smaller path. It's not huge. And then this roadway.
Here's where I saw this thing.
What is El Dorado? On Overwatch.
Okay.
So yeah, I don't think it's it's you have the fountain in the middle, and there's all the little ways off. It doesn't look all like that, but that's what this kind of looks like. It's not a regular shaped round or anything like that. It's weird triangular shaped.
All right, so I'm facing the same way he's now facing.
Correct.
All right, we're all facing this way.
You were looking into the pavilion. He's just looking down the road you guys came from.
I saw something this way.
Correct.
So I was skinning to everyone. Guys, I spotted something at our 10 o'clock, 11 o'clock.
Yeah. You use military speak. You understand that.
So I turn.
So
immediately hearing you say that, I would face.
Yeah. He says that, and you can tell it to him and his as well. So you could just say, hey, James, something off to your, and it would be even more of an angle into the town from him. My 11, your 9 or whatever it is.
Well, you wouldn't even say my. You would just say on your 6, on your 4, on your 12.
Yeah, on your 9.
So
it's
on your 9, yeah.
And you know that thing ducked that way, so it makes sense that he saw something over there. But it is now clear to you that you guys are using your radios. The 2 dots behind you are Shani and Beethoven.
Hey, he's not going to turn and shoot us now. Yay.
Well, it would take me a whole turn to get it there. But
and hopefully he would have identified you by then.
If I roll an Iggy mistake, you're not going to live. through it like you did with Iggy burned you slightly. Like slightly being railed down by the boom gun is not going to be slight.
So
your
teammate just killed you.
You're only going to
You're dead.
You're only going to slightly lose one.
There's
limb.
no blaze of glory.
Yeah, right.
No, actually, if he like, I don't know what I'd do, but I would do it that your gun doesn't fire on that shot.
Yeah.
And and you go, I worked so hard to make sure this does this and all that stuff, and now I'm actually happy that this thing didn't go off.
You're making his back itch. Like, the gun didn't go off. You're like, oh, it's got to crack it. I got to look at it.
Okay. So, what are you doing?
I'm probably going to face at the building because he gave me the proper coordinates.
But like you're like turned around, you're looking back down the road you saw. The pavilion is behind you, the promenade. So you have building on this side, building on this side. You're just looking down a corridor. He's like telling you like it's through here, but you don't have a path or a vision through here. There's a building right here. So you could start. You could either, you could do a lot of things, but you could go to the place where you saw. Where you think the thing disappeared, the little pathway, it's an alleyway. Or you can back into the promenade and start to try to cover more space again.
I'm going to do that, but I'm going to announce as I do it. So I'm going to start to back up and say, last warning.
Right. Shani's like, we'll cover your back if you back up to this exit.
So,
I keep forgetting that like you're only like 10 feet tall, so it's like you're not seeing over all these buildings.
No.
Like
my main problem
you're still
is
barely taller than me.
when it's time to fire, I can only fire this far around. Yeah, so I have to be really careful. Like I said, I'm more of a weapon than a suit. So
he's backing up.
I've announced another warning.
He's moonwalking back to them.
Yep.
Roll for how well you back up.
Roll agility, piloting, just agility. With your +2 pilot ace.
Let's see if you do this in as much style as you got out of the transport.
I got a 6.
Yeah, you're doing all right.
Mostly because I'm like humming Annie.
Yeah.
I'm projecting Annie into things.
As you're backing up into that position, everyone's sensors go off. There's something above Shani on her side of the wall, like her building that she's up against. So it's like on your left behind you. You're here. You can like look straight up, and it's just straight above her.
What is it?
It's the correct answer. What is it?
I mean, it's right there.
So what I'm saying, like when I turn like this and I see it, when I've turned, is this kind of the direction they were asking for? Like now I've covered kind of where we've heard and seen everything because I've backed up a little bit. I've turned just enough.
You have like, so let's say this is the pavilion. It's not this shape. Like you were here looking down this pathway.
Yeah.
They're here covering this. You just kind of backed up.
And then I turned left a little bit.
Turned left to cover all of this because that's where everything was.
Yeah.
So now I'm going to fire my pins again.
Okay. But now there's something
right
above and behind you.
Oh, so when you say I looked up to the left, I'm more like it's over there.
No, it is literally behind you. But they said they would cover you.
That's true. So I'm still, you know what, then if they're going to cover me, then...
You gotta, I know these people are new, but you're also, you need to trust your teammates.
Then spikes down, then doesn't matter what I draw, I still have to prepare. So I mean, obviously it matters what I draw. So the preparation this turn. So would it be safe to say, like on a firing round, you could skip me on the draw? Like, don't give me any cards? Or should you give me the cards so they come out of the deck?
I should give you the card because I need to know when, because someone might knock you off your feet.
That's true.
Or mess with you.
It's a preparation.
Yeah,
Okay,
so I need to know when you
totally.
bolt in. Also, when you do that, everyone gets +2 to hit you.
That's true. Plus, I want to see his brain when I get 2 cards.
That's right. You are. You're level-headed.
Level-headed this time.
They can't see this too well. It's too dark.
Is initiative stuff happening?
No.
Is that?
I'm having trouble seeing it from this distance what it is exactly.
I mean, I know what the card is.
I don't recognize it off the top of my head.
Do you recognize it?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. So that's looking down at you.
So I have seen one of these things
You
before.
have.
So I would know what it is.
You have seen, like, you've been beside them and walked with them and all kinds of stuff. It's a good thing you forgot, because James has never seen one of these before.
Yeah.
And you're not seeing it now.
I'll say I think I know what Mitch thinks is what it is.
So it's up there. It's like looking down, kind of growling. But it's not pouncing or anything.
That's right. I remember these things. But yeah. James understood.
I'm trying to remember if
Do you have any pertinent information from
they react to anything specific. No.
If I recall correctly, they went after Iggy a bit. Like they were magic focused, or I might be wrong about that. No?
No, like you and Coda went down.
Oh, yeah.
Boo. For those at home, it is a Shamarian's mount.
Yeah.
They're a big cybered out war beast. Shamarian are these cybered out Amazonian women with all techno Amazonian.
Remind me, when I tried to help the one, it was another Shamarian that got pissed at me, right?
It was all of them. Yeah, when you
helping,
one
but the
was
mount
wounded.
didn't react itself, right? Because
No.
it was kind of standing over her,
Protecting
and then
her.
I came over just to like offer help. And
They
then,
were upset that you were offering a downed warrior help. It
but the
wasn't-
mount itself didn't necessarily react.
Not
It was just
until
the-
everyone else did.
Yeah, it wasn't until the Shamarians themselves.
Then it kind of turned
Hey!
and stood over her.
Well, this explains why they're not responding. Like, hey, come out! Like,
Yeah. Which I guess my instincts would be like, I don't even. Hey, where's one of your masters? Not again, like it'd just be an instinctual thing. Like I don't know that it could understand me, but that's what I would do.
Shani's like looking up. What the hell?
what is that?
You can't see anything. Like you are stuck in this position.
But I can.
Yeah, you see movement and all that
That's what I'm
stuff.
saying.
Like,
Like, well,
with,
then
like
tell me what it is. Like, what is
okay,
that?
What is that?
Like what you got over there,
Yeah.
sort of.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. Like, well, hey, what is that? Like, I'm looking over here, but hey, what is that? What are you guys seeing?
It's the people were sent to look for the Shamarians. This is one of their mounts. It's kind of like a robotic beast creature. I don't.
So don't shoot it.
Yeah, not yet. Also, it's right above Shani, so from what you tell me about your arsenal...
Yeah, I don't want this building exploding on me. So, like, she kind of, like, she's not moving, looking up at the thing. And it's just kind of up there, making noise.
And after
punch it.
and after I said whatever, it didn't react to my words, right? It's just it's still just hanging out.
So, still hanging out there.
All right, so... I wonder... I want to skinny to him. I'll just use the communicator to him. Use your broadcast thing to announce...
You want to tell them where we're from? Like, we're aid from Castle Refuge, or is there some specific words you think Shamarians
Just say, Shamarians, we are not here to harm you. We come in peace. We'll make sure you get Shamarian out there so that we let them know that we know they're around here. They gotta be around here.
So then I loudly announce them. Shamarians, we are here to help. Shamarians, we are here to help.
Okay. Notices not you.
Shit. I should have been more specific.
Schmarians, we're here to whack off.
No, it's just been
into a
like,
puddle of
we're
your
not
tears.
here to harm you.
Oh yeah, so tell them we're here.
Me
I don't know
helping
that. Yeah,
one
see, I didn't
time
know
was
that.
like, yep.
I didn't know any of that.
Those.
Your life is correct.
4.
All right.
She rolled a double 1.
No, she rolled a double 3.
Oh, okay.
So you're like it's up there. You're getting street down there. Glitter Boy's facing. You're facing into the promenade. From an alleyway over here, you have one of the rail guns pointed at you. Out of the window along your side, another one. You see a barrel comes out and points at Shani.
Yeah. Like, they all point at me, I'm gonna be real pissed right now. What the fuck?
And that's when another blip comes from the opposite side of where the mount is, and there's one of their railguns pointed down at him. They're still railguns.
I know.
Like,
it's hard not to be a little cocky in the Glitter Boy armor.
Are they just pointed at us?
they're just pointed at you. Unless you tell me you're going to react by firing.
No, again, at this point, I would say,
Shemarians, I slept with all of your mothers.
Oh.
No, I'm just kidding. Don't do that.
Yeah, let's go ahead and...
I announced it so loud. Every Shemarian that's ever been born heard it.
hey, Shamarians, we're not here to harm you. We're on your side.
Investigating.
We don't have to help you. We don't need to fight you.
I'm here to help them.
No, we're not.
Just kidding. You hear me yawn.
So above you, the one says, "Speak your words, Animal Man. We don't have time."
First off, fuck you.
Take a poop. Yeah, animal that.
Sorry about this again. Animal Man.
Speak your words,
Animal Man. We don't have time.
What the hell are we doing here? Oh. We are here looking for a shifter. And it's something with a W.
Witchling.
And it's Witchling. We are on a mission to find those things and take them out.
Again, you seek our same quarry. You mean to compete with us again for our kill?
Sounds like these are the same guys you saw last time.
It sounds like their Shimerian leader. It's kind of hard to tell. They all kind of sound and look the same.
That's racist.
If that's what it comes down to, why not have a little competition to make it more fun?
That's not helping. Well, I mean, I guess if you knock them out, if they knock them out, we knock them out. You know.
I didn't have a problem like competing last time. I thought
But if you're not going to get information from them if you're competing against them. They're not going to tell you where the person is if you're saying, "Let's fight for it." Like, let's see who gets to him first.
I'm just worried about them not shooting us with their fucking spear railgun things. So fucking I said it. I mean, if Shani wants to speak up and
That's what they know. So you're playing it Mitch style now. You're like, I already fucking said it. Like, yeah, let's do it.
Well, I'm more worried about a railgun pointed at me than I am about like them giving us information. Like, I can't interrogate
Shining
them.
Knight? You were with them?
I am. The person we seek is poisoning this land, enemy to all. He's not a quarry to be found. Or sorry, not a. What do you call it? Quarry. What do you?
Trophy?
No, when you hunt something, prey.
Prey.
It's not prey to be hunted. It's malice to be smoked. We don't compete.
Persuasion.
plus 4.
Yep. I'm going to give everyone a Benny just for the first super successful persuasion roll ever in one of my games. Finally, someone with charisma.
You know what sucks too is that the kid had a lot of charisma, but she was very unsuccessful with negotiating.
Like Shadowrun is Shadowrun. Like that's a different story.
Captain.
He was pretty charismatic.
Whoever.
He did get to sleep with a couple people.
Hey, first mission. I mean,
this was.
What was that captain's name? I forgot his name already.
You named it after somebody.
Oh, it was something Thoreau. Kevin Thoreau.
Oh, that's right. Yeah, that's right.
All right. She makes a noise.
Cementing
the railguns.
Relations.
The railguns come back, like raise. The two on the ground like walk out, and she just leaps down 2 stories, landing superhero pose.
Make sure that's done.
I still have first episode, second, third.
Oh yeah, right on. I would like to see that later.
What is that?
It's the
I still
title
have
list
memos
for the
our first.
Oh, nice.
For all of the Firefly game.
What was the wing? Pilot. So they all jump down. The beast clambers down on the side, and one other beast comes out. And so there's the Lord and 2 attendants and 2 beasts sitting there.
Are they a vision of him yet, or is he still kind of like, what's going
You can
on?
like now you can
speaking with him. So
Yeah.
I'm probably
you're
not like I'm gonna get out of my armor. Right?
you were bolted in, right?
Yeah.
So
No. I was bolted. Wasn't
So
I?
you
Fuck,
can-
I bolted. Yeah,
That's what I'm like. Are you just
pull
like,
that back
Yeah.
and turn
What's
around.
going
Got that. I changed my angle and re-bolted so that way we could
They
spend time. One more time, just so we're clear. Firing the gun, bolt, and preparation are 1 turn.
Yes.
It's not both my
It's-
feet and then prepare my gun. Okay.
It is.
It's bolt
You
and
you need to take 1 action to be prepared for fire, and it's everything.
My bolting down is usually when I'm saying it as a free action. It's really just to I'm planning to this next turn. I want to get ready to fire. That's
You
what it is.
can fire, not bolted down.
No.
You can fire when you're not bolted properly. Like if you're on sand, if you're on top of a building, like one of these, it's not going to hold for a couple shots. Like it might hold for 1, but
No, I get what you're saying.
The only thing that happens to you is you get blown back and are shaken. So if it's an act of desperation, but you absolutely can do it.
Right.
Just know that. The only thing you cannot do, the only thing is like absolutely forbidden, you can't make the gun do it, is to fire while you're moving.
No, I get that.
Yeah.
I get it. It's actually a hindrance that comes with the armor itself.
Yep. Like if it's jostling and moving, its systems aren't even on. Like it's in lockdown. So you can kind of spread out into the promenade so you're on equal ground. These are warriors, so it's not like they want to just chum up with you. They want to be facing you, and they want to have all cards on the table. She says that this is all of that's left of her hunting party that she had tracked after you had separated, tracked down where they suspected the shifter was layering, and that's when the Broadkill made their move, and it was just overwhelming numbers. An army marches from the east.
Is the east where the mines were?
No. North was where the mines were. So gargoyles were up there, Broadkill are coming from there.
Oh, the Broadkill, sorry.
Yeah.
In my mind, Broadkill and Gurglites and Gurgles and Gargoyles are all kind of the same thing. If you remember that.
They are all extra-dimensional demons.
Mm-hmm. But like the Broadkill are a little less they're more cyberly inclined.
They
a little
like
less
that
intelligence.
stuff.
that's
Yeah.
what
And
I
well,
think.
the gargoyles love technology too. They just don't do too much cybernetics. They do
Gotcha.
power armors and guns and stuff and gadgets. So this is all that's left of their hunting party, and they've been chasing what they hope. They've gotten around and past it, but they think the shifter is continuing to summon special forces, And you guys don't have much time here because it came here for a reason. It came here to recruit.
So, what if he were
in which he were?
So I'd say like so you followed him here, but he's gone now.
We followed his trail to this area. This phenomenon seems like one of his machinations.
Have you been here before as a tribe? Have you been in this area?
No.
So you can't tell us if this town was here before you made it here.
We saw this valley before, and nothing was the same.
That's what I was getting at. Do you have another lead to where this shifter might be headed?
Where that funnel ended.
Do you intend to go that way?
We do.
Perhaps you could aid us lesser trackers towards the common goal.
Let us tag along.
Lead us. Did I say lead? I said aid. Lead us towards our common goal. Sorry.
Will not deny that you are an impressive combatant.
They're talking to him, right? I've never seen you fight. Oh, okay.
They know Glitter Boys.
Gotcha. I was like, they've never seen me do anything.
All you Shiny Knights.
That's true.
They have a lot of dealings with Quebec, and Quebec supposedly can manufacture Glitter Boys.
They manufactured a reverse engineered Glitter Boy that they think is the reason that Quebec hasn't been attacked yet. No one's really sure.
But the kill is ours.
I don't think we care who kills it as long as it dies.
Then you may follow us. Be mindful of the shadows.
That sounds more like your job. I don't say that, of course. We'll do our best. And roll for like, fuck these guys.
Huh? Mm-hmm. So the two ones with her mount up. She's lost her beast, so she's just stalking, but she's damn fast on her own. She's a good 2 feet taller than both of her other people, so she's stalking along the alleyways. You guys are heading to keep up with them.
I whisper quietly to Shani, fucking shit, Aryans.
They're the worst, aren't they?
These guys are great. I'm just kidding.
Though that tech, never seen its like before.
Which tech are you talking about?
They're fully cybered out and like it's part of them.
Well, I'm hearing them conversation, right?
Mm-hmm.
Can my knowledge of electronics, can I say if I've seen it before or know what it is? Yeah. Because that would be intriguing. Like, as part of my being part of the group, as soon as the group says they haven't seen something before, maybe I've seen it.
Yeah, now he's heard me call them shit Aryans.
I'll get 4.
It has a very organic look and feel to it. You really haven't seen much like this. Like most cybernetics from humans are kind of bulky or, bolted on or look like or intrusive and look like cybernetics. But these, you can't tell where the Sumerian ends and the cybernetics begin, or exactly what systems or what they have going on and all of it. Even the beasts. I mean, you see organic parts. You see the chrome and the glass on them.
Well, it's skinny that I've never seen anything like this before, and I've worked on machines since I was a kid. So.
And I've been through the multiverse for quite some time, and I've never seen anything like this. Not even the Naru. What the fuck's a Naru?
What's that?
So you notice that they're pretty fast moving, and they go up, and they they'll move and then they'll stop and then retrace and not go down certain streets. Make me smarts checks if you want to try to figure out why.
Each of us?
Yep. If you want to. You can just follow them if you want, but if you want to try to figure out what they're doing.
Smarts with the wild?
Yes.
5. There it is, 4.
She got 11.
It is.
And it's getting harder. Like, they're stopping more and more as you guys are getting to the center. And Shani's like, they're trying to avoid those smears. And you're seeing a lot more of them now. Like dozens down one road or another, against walls, halfway out of buildings.
I'd probably address the leader then and say, what's happened to these people?
They are the inhabitants of this place, but they're soon to serve a new lord.
That didn't answer my question at all.
We can ask.
Are there
in what sort of way?
So I should say that I didn't see them specifically. So the bodies, there's no bodies left. It's like imprints and splats of like things.
Have you seen blast shadows from?
Yeah, 100%. Yes, that's what I'm looking at.
Just take it and reverse it, so it's not like the absence of a thing. It's
the promination.
Yeah.
Okay, cool. So, who's this new lord?
So Shani is like, oh, he's summoning shades or something. This is not going to go well. This is Aztec. This is blood magic.
Is that? So to use like real world knowledge, I'm like that explains the sandstone.
Yeah, and that's why it's like it reminded
her with my actual character.
Yeah, it reminded her Egyptian, but it wasn't Egyptian. It's Aztec.
It's Toltec, yeah.
Toltec, Aztec,
Olmec, all that stuff.
Quetzalcoatl.
He's a thing though. He's a god.
He's got Tlazolcoatl. Tlazoltotal. Also God. So they're finding it harder and harder to try to get to the center because there's more and more. And then they find one and there's only a dozen of these things. And they're like, prepare yourselves. And as they start heading down there, they start pulling out their rail guns and pointing.
Guess I need to get into view then.
And you're in a promenade looking down the road they've chosen. You two are, backing them up. Probably behind benches or fountains in the middle. And there's still, there's more around you. There's some in this. And Shani just comes up to you. Like if you're in a post, she kind of like keeps in a 10-foot circle, but she's more behind you, like covering your back.
Because I think from where I'm at right now, I would probably stop. When they told us to prepare ourselves, if battle's imminent, then I can't get much closer, so I'm going to stay here.
Okay. A shadow comes over you guys, and you look up, and you see that the clouds, the roiling clouds, they're still up there. They're dark, it's stormy winter eve. But now you're starting to realize it's almost like there's something in the clouds moving, and it's now come over where you are at. And as it kind of moves and writhes, almost like a tentacle up behind the darkness of the clouds, casting the shadow here. Where it casts, all of the things start moving on the walls.
All of the smears on the walls?
And they're just going down, like looking at shadows on a wall move across, and they start like moving, reaching. It looks like they're in agony, screaming, but you hear no sounds. And then they all kind of like start just trying to grab at something. And you kind of realize that from their angles and shadows are grabbing at you from the walls.
Are they actually reaching out from the walls?
Nope.
Luckily, my suit has a catheter, not pee myself.
Yep. That was normal. I was going to take a pee anyway.
What's that sound? Waste removal.
It would be awesome if it sounded like a flush. Like, you're just walking along. Did you just...
Or that my receptors sensitive enough to pick it up and project it. I think we should move east to do... Farther east.
All right, James, Plato. Wow, good for
I
you.
get 2 cards, I'm level-headed.
7 and Joker.
What?
The first time ever for you.
Hey.
You were just mentioning that today.
Look at you getting level-headed and
Give us our
stuff.
beanies. I'm going to go with the 7, though, if that's okay with you.
7 and Ace for you. Damn. So, like, just behind the Joker, essentially. And a 7 as well, which is
doesn't really matter.
interesting.
This turn is kind of locked anyway.
Oh, and which 7 did I get?
The Sumerians. And Shani has a queen. The Shadows have a 5.
All right.
You can go anytime you want.
I know, but I want to be ready, so...
When she said be ready, did you bolt in then?
Yeah.
I thought you did. So you're bolted down.
Oh, so I'm bolted. All right,
Yeah.
so then definitely waiting then. Okay.
So just waiting to see how it goes.
I was going to ask about that, like the bolting had to be used as a...
It doesn't have to be in the action. You can set up for it.
Gotcha. All right,
If you suspect
you are first.
oncoming confrontation.
Yeah, you are first.
I still don't... Alright, so...
These things are like moving along the wall, and it looks like when they start grabbing, you feel things on you, and you can like
even
tell
if they're
which
not making
ones.
Contact?
Yeah, because they're kind of just touching your shadows or where you would be on the wall. Like doesn't make sense, but you can kind of tell which ones are near you on the walls and which ones are attacking you as how they're moving. It's very disconcerting and disorienting, though, because things on walls grabbing at shadows and hurting you sucks.
I feel like my instinct, as lame as it's going to sound, would just be like move away from the walls or whatever that I could tell these ones are grabbing me from. Maybe I can't tell that they're anybody.
You start backing up along walls, and they start like reaching hands down onto the ground, essentially, and moving. You're starting to realize that it's a matter of perspective that is off about this place. That almost from anywhere you're at, as long as they're clustered where you could be project against the wall, they can attack you.
Can I step on their shadow hand as they reach it? Just be like, no.
Am I feeling it on my person as they reach around? I feel it.
You're hearing it on your armor. You're hearing the scrapes.
Am I facing the same direction as everybody's in front of me?
Yes. But he's off over here. Unfortunately, he started backing up pretty much towards you. So he's getting into sonic boom range, but he's in his armor. As long as he makes his vigor test, he won't be shaken. Shani is kind of behind you, trying to cover you, but she's outside of range.
Shot at a building of shadows without killing a Sumerian?
Yes.
Yes. Then we're doing that. I'm going to waste the closest, safest building.
Also, out of curiosity, why did the Sumerians not draw a card?
Oh, you're right. Yeah, you're going.
Irrelevant 5 seconds ago, but as of right now, be sure your shoelaces are tight. So it's time to fire at the closest safe building I can fire
Go
at.
ahead and make me your vigor check.
Is it?
For him.
You do a vigor check.
Yeah.
So you going wild die?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, everything.
What do I have to hit?
5. So you're successful.
Yep. So you're like...
So my
the
firing,
shockwave hits you.
Am I firing agility or shooting? Because I'm stuck in the ground. It shouldn't be agility anymore, right? Or
No, shooting. Yeah.
shooting? Okay.
Always shooting. when firing.
Eight.
That's enough to hit a building,
I mean, the building can't jump out of the way.
right?
All right.
With a raise.
This D12. This D12. This D12. I need this D12. Is the building dodging?
Nope.
Oh. $15, 27, 34, 40.
It's sandstone building. It's a boom gun. That building just, the bottom half of it disintegrates, the top half collapses in. You see this, like, besides the sandstone and everything else that's being kicked up from your shot, these, like, red ash flecks just, and you see that there was, like, about 6 of them on that wall that just, also, your sonic boom, as, like, the ones that are, like, hands and things are coming along the ground, pushes all of them back from you.
And it makes a sound like...
The Sumerians go. All 3 of them hit with raises. So they're just like kind of in a firing line with their railguns blasting. And theirs are shrapnel as well, kind of like yours are. They're a little bit more sharper and flechette. So they're just scraping down walls. So what they're trying to do.
While I'm looking at it, so yeah, they're attacking the physical smear, not necessarily the shadow or the shade.
Like the smear is the shadow and shade. Okay. Like it is the thing that's moving and attacking your selves in this place. Like but they're just
smearing. I only have 999 shots left.
And you see, like, as these things tear down the walls, like, you know, even if it's just a streak down one wall, as it hits and tears through these smears, that they erupt into that red ash and die, it seems. Oh, you know, red ash everywhere.
You're up.
Shani attacks the darkness.
I feel like
you had ace.
Well, I feel like
he was stomping. He's backing up and he was stomping on it. Like he's trying to get more of the heart of what these things are and what they're doing.
Like I literally didn't. I had no idea how the hell.
I always see what I did through observation instead of like actually doing
that. They are going.
Shani did what? Nothing.
Shani attacked, like with her sword. She cuts through a couple, but I mean, it's not like she has something that's just blasting multiple things. All right.
What does that look for?
Nothing.
At least he didn't pick any dice up and roll them again.
What's your parry?
My parry?
Yep.
6.
Okay.
What? That's a good parry.
Yeah, he's got fighting 8.
Oh, yeah.
Mm-hmm. So, like, you're trying to stomp on it, but now you're starting to, like, something like, you're starting to get the perspective. Like, things are starting to shift, and you're like, oh, like, this thing is reaching for me this way, this thing is reaching for me this way, like, as if I was up against the wall here or there, and you start essentially dodging their attacks. But you know, you see them writhing, moving along the wall, trying to get to you, and you just realize that you're not safe no matter where you go. You can't get into cover from these things. You can avoid them and dance around and dodge as much as you like. You're going to get tired out. What's your toughness?
11.
Inside the armor without
5.
it.
Plus 6.
Several, like, you blew up this building, your boom pushed some away, but several from where he is rush for you and try to get, like, they're going across the ground and moving up, and they're coming up buildings to get you. Like, you can see them coming up here because you're so far away. That's their thing up there. And then there's some that are coming down through, like, really, like, literally kind of the ground to touch you. And the moment they touch you, like, they're not grabbing your armor. They're grabbing you and trying to pull your soul away. And that is horrible, and you are shaken.
Mitch makes new character. Mitch dies in first combat. Well, let's try this again.
How do you shake a glitter boy? Ethereal? Well.
Spells and ethereal stuff.
You got that going for you. Lightning bolt, your glitter boy is incapacitated.
Jack 6 hearts. You got a flush.
Glitter boy.
9-2. Club spades.
It's my armor.
Shani got king. Shamarian's got ace of clubs. And the Shades got 6. What did you have?
Jack.
Jack. Okay. You had Jack and Shane. The ace goes first, so they tear up some more areas down that path. And they kind of call out that they're pressing forward. That you can stay here and fight these things all night if you want. And they start moving. Shani, there's not much she can do. Like, she can only hit one thing at a time.
Yeah.
She can hit multiple stuff with the boost, but she doesn't have any AoE. Like, so she's like,
do her attacks actually like harm?
They do, and she likes flaming sword against the ground. She can ash 1.
Okay.
Yeah, she's like, guys, are we moving?
Let's do it.
Yes.
Right, so she kind of runs around trying to just keep everything at bay and stay outside of your boom zone just in case you fire again, over to where the Shamarians are. Jack.
Shaken is my spirit.
Yes. Yeah.
Yeah.
You can end.
14.
You are no longer shaken.
So I'm going to cover the retreat. Can I tell which building seems to have the most of these things on it?
Yeah, you can pick out concentrations.
I'm going to pick out the concentration and it's fire again. Is everybody out of range?
Yes.
Right.
Get down.
He got forcibly pushed out of range last time.
Get down. And shooting again.
Correct.
Looks like this. And spend a Benny to add a d6. Make it 7 total. Damn it.
Is it with your +1 to shooting?
Oh, 8 then.
With your movement again? Yeah.
8, 17, 26, 31, 37.
Okay. Building destroyed. Another 7 to 8 shades ashed. And when the ash touches down and hits you, it's like blood. Like it's wet. blood.
On me or on the armor?
On anyone. Like
on the armor, though.
Yeah.
It's not going through my
armor. It's
armor.
not going through your armor.
Okay.
Like, this stuff is just like, it looks like ash. It's like...
Excellent. Only 998 shots left. That's all I got left.
They attack.
Don't I get to go next?
Oh, no, you get to go. Sure. I'm used to you already being done by
right?
now.
Like that level-headed is making me go first now for some reason.
He's stealing your cards.
That's right, I'm stealing your good card.
Not that I'm going to do much. I'm just going to run after the Shimerians and try to keep up with them.
You can lay down some covering fire with grenades if you want to blow up a group. Or do you just want to keep... You can go on a mind to defense now that you kind of figure out their methods, which would make you harder to hit.
Or grenade the buildings down.
Or that.
I kind of like the line of defense better.
Okay.
And obviously I would yell at James over here, like, hey, get the hell out of there. Like,
Time to go.
GTFO.
Nothing hits you. Nothing hits Shani. Two things hit James. Nothing. Wounding.
I think mainly earlier I just kind of forgot that, like, these things are made out of some sort of, like, materials. They're not just a shadow.
They're not just a shadow. They
'Cause
are.
at first I was just like, I don't know if I can do that.
They are a smear of something on the wall.
If I remember that, I might have actually, like, shot first instead of just like, what the hell? But either way, I mean, it still makes sense. I still could be like, what the fuck?
What the fuck? Moving the camera. Oh. Should have done this earlier.
Yeah. I believe you got a wound.
I got wounded?
Yes. So I'll describe that in a second, but I need to know something. James...
McKellar, McKellar.
McKellr?
AR.
AR.
Wandering Burster. Glitteriest boy. Oh, that's right.
All right.
Both glitter.
So, you feel like them touching you. Like, it's just the hands on you. You feel that. But then, like, once they get a hold, they go into you. You feel like the fingers dive into your flesh. And it hurts. It hurts a lot.
Final Fantasy Spirits Within. So I'm wounded.
You are wounded and shaken.
Okay. Thank you. Good boy.
6 and queen. See, you took your queen. And now
4 and 6.
8 and 6. You have really messed up his game. Shani.
It wasn't that I had bad luck. It was
American.
that people were taking my luck. I can only have good luck if I take
Your
it from
your first card is always crappy. So queen, you're going first. You need to recover from shaken, and these people are now like heading down
No, I
the
understand.
alley. Like
This is Spirit again, right?
correct.
Like these people. As in-
You all like you are exiting.
Nice.
Yeah, that's
Yep.
100%. As it says right there. So shaking up.
I said, I don't know if you heard what I did last turn, but I basically just like ran after the Shamarians and was like
dodging.
James, like we need to get out of here.
So obviously heals up, begin the retreat with them.
Okay, so you pull Spike and
move forward.
Try to get as much movement as you can. Shamarians are clearing the path, using their railguns to just scrape the walls and the streets ahead of them.
A fire is that run. I'm just kidding, can't do that.
They start attacking, coming down, but now that you've got them into... you're running, right? Like, you're going covering.
I was like, I just see putting all the cards over there. I was like, oh, I guess that's that.
I just needed to know really what he was doing, if he was staying, if he failed his shake-in and all that. So you're heading down this street now, and that really condenses how many of them can be around you at a time. And, you can feel, them kind of, dragging and clawing onto you and trying to get you from the walls, as you pass by. But you're moving, and they can't keep up, get a good grip. Every once in a while, scrape here, scrape there, but not anything too dramatic. This all goes until you get to the center. The area starts to open up. First off, you start to see more plots of land and gardens and small walls and parks or whatever these things are, recreational gardens, larger estate mansion type things. But as you get to the center, you just see this big square lake.
Mm-hmm.
Moving up, the lake is red.
It's my favorite color.
And in its reflection, where it stands, is a ziggurat. So you're looking down at the lake, and it's showing you pretty much the reflection of all the buildings around you, but at its center, there's a ziggurat where it would be standing.
Where it would be standing.
Where the lake is.
The
lake is the base, and there would be tiers above it.
Gotcha. I think I know where it, the enemy we're looking at.
Up at the top of the ziggurat, where the would be, when you look and there's nothing there, you see two figures. One is this robed individual. The robes are crimson and black, and there's multiple layers of them, and they're whipping around, and as he's up there floating, arcane symbols down some of his clothing. Next to him is this little thing, this big, maybe, in a weird contortion of whatever. Looks like Vern Troyer. It's hooded. There's a hooked nose coming out from it. It's got too long of fingers, maybe too many joints, and it's just, they're floating up there where the top of this would be. And you realize that the lake is being filled by the things, the smears are coming through the gardens and everything and going into it and feeding it.
Bolts down.
So the ziggurat is just a reflection in the lake. The guy and the thing we can actually see
floating up there.
That was where I got confused.
Yeah,
I was
it is
I see what you're saying.
It's really weird. You look down there, and pretty much where it would be, you see a pyramid. A hint, this reflection of it in the pool, but
attack the pool.
You bolt in.
Absolutely bolting in.
Okay.
But I'm out of the neighborhood. I'm not feeling those hands anymore on me.
They're coming all around you, but now they seem more
focused
on getting into the pool.
Gotcha. So then, yeah, if I'm not being actively attacked anymore, then bolts in.
And then?
I mean, I need a card, don't I? If I'm gonna get into
No,
combat.
they're not doing anything, so you don't need a card.
What do you guys think?
Well, I feel like I'd already presume this is who we're looking for and take aim and fire.
I've got a clean shot, yeah.
So you take aim. Shani pulls her magical bow.
I aim at the pool.
You're gonna aim at the pool?
I'm gonna aim at the pool.
Okay.
I don't like that reflection. Also, I'm kind of mad at those things, and they keep sparking when I shoot them, so I'm gonna keep shooting the sparky parts.
The Shimerians go off to the side and start heading towards the edge of the pool. So you fire up grenade or regular shots.
Regular shots.
It looks like they're hitting something that's not there. You shoot down. It hits and splashes everything everywhere, and as it splashes up, it starts to fill in the ziggurat shape that's above it. So from the inside, this invisible ziggurat
It's like I'm
standing on
splashing
top,
blood inside
inside glass essentially or whatever, and you're now seeing the walls. But you put a hole, maybe, you don't know, and it splashed, and then that's when both of those things up there look down at you.
I think I've got their attention.
At this point, dialogue ensues. Oh, the intrepid heroes here to kill the villain of the day. How predictable. It's a pity, though. This would have been a fun sight.
How can you call the destruction of a town a fun sight? Very loudly.
Oh, the destruction of the town isn't what's going to be fun. Wind comes all around him, his cloak is flapping everywhere, the little thing is chanting along with him, and out of the blood in the center, a large Balrog-like demon forms. It takes most of the blood to do, but there's now this big red Balrog standing in the pool, looking down at you. Its waist is level with the pool, legs are going down, and it's glitter boy, you're here to it. At which point the rest of the blood gets pulled up, and you see the last remnants of the shades are trying to reach the blood before it goes away. And they when they can't, they just turn into brown sludge on the ground, and the rest of the blood goes up in a halo around that figure that's floating, and he just goes pops out of existence, and you are left standing here with this Balrog.
Good.
Yay! And we'll start next week with the fight against the blood demon.
I keep track of my ammo real quick.
Yeah. That's it for tonight.
98 shots.
Seen some glitter boy action. Let's see if you can take down a big boy.
Well, the good news is I'm -1 to all my rolls to start.
Oh, all right. Next week.